Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot, or why does he do that? Where did that start from?
It's a catchy song.
It's the theme song to Club.
I know it's Club. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but like, why did he keep doing it? Join our cult. Hello everyone.
He likes niche references and stuff, doesn't he?
He does.
No, we're mainstreamers. Piss us. Every single thing mentioned on this podcast, the whole world knows about.
And welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast, not video podcast necessarily, as Matthew often says for some reason. I don't know why he does that, but it is available in both video and audio formats. I'm Jack from Cultaholic.com, and I'm joined by Sam. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm alright.
And Ross, how are you doing?
I'm titivated.
Titivated?
Titivated.
Titillated?
Titivated.
Titivated.
Motivated with a bit of titillation as well.
Excellent stuff. Well, we're going to do it's going to be mainly the normal podcast format, but we're also going to do a little bit of a review of Money in the Bank as well. If some things are slightly out of date, that's because at the time of recording, it is currently midweek, and at the time this goes out, we will be in bloody Las Vegas, Vegas, Nevada, for StarCast 2 and Double or Nothing. AE Dubs. Dubs, right. Don't know what does Matthew normally do at this point before the news?
Say something awkward. We have a bit of back and forth, and then we'll do the news.
How are you doing, pal?
So,
that
lovely. I'll read.
How are you? All right? Are you all right? And then
I'm gone to the... He puts on the Geordie more than he would in normal life.
Yeah. Well, I was just gone
Gone
doing
him.
I said, way.
And then I walked past the burn, and I nicked this milk fluid, and I sparked it this granny.
That's Matthew.
Yeah.
So he'll do this sometimes to me as well. He'd be like, so you ask Ross how he's doing. Then he goes to me, like, you're me right now. He goes,
Yeah.
And how are you doing, pal? And then just reply, just say how you doing.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, just doesn't say anything. And I'm like, well, you just asked me a question. Anyway, should we just crack
Is this
on?
just the trash Matthew?
It is.
Whenever anybody's not here, we just trash him.
I like Matthew, me.
I like
Nice
Matthew.
guy, isn't he?
He is a nice guy.
He brought a 5-star wrestling T-shirt in my life, so
It's made your life, that.
he's all right, isn't he?
He's on his way to Vegas as we speak right now. Bless you. And he's worried that he's going to get murdered in cold blood by Vampiro.
Well, we're all going to get murdered by Vampiro at one stage of life. He'll be down Liddles one day,
We've got-
and he'll fly in. Coffin will be there ready. Boom.
Nailing the coffin.
No, he's got Vampiro to worry about. We've got Taz.
I've got Nick Gage to worry about.
Nick
Imagine
Gage.
that, though.
yeah.
If you're in Liddles one day and you just hear Vampiro's music start playing, you know what's going
Well,
to
you'd
happen.
hear a fart first, because he farted audibly on stream before that happened.
Yeah, in that same show when he wanted to play his music. I've got Nick Gage to worry about because he had a go at Squirtle on Twitter, and for some reason I talk about Squirtle in my bio on Twitter, so I just thought, well, I need to reply now because people are tagging me in it. So I just he put like, Squirtle's the worst, and if you still play Pokemon at this age, then you're just a something or other. And I just replied, right then. And now I'm worried that he's going to just go.
Are you allowed to be part of the Squirtle squad if you are one of the Becky boys?
Oh, yes, of course, I'm one of the Becky boys. Check out
I don't
Money in
know.
the Bank
I think,
reaction.
I think we'll ask Michael Cole about that.
What was I in again?
The Lacey Lads.
Lazy lads.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the Lazy lads.
Right. Should we do some bloody news then?
Let's podcast. Yeah.
Go on then.
Oh, I thought there was like a...
There's no cut.
There's no cut.
We do the little ramble.
thought-
and go straight to the
News.
news,
I
yeah.
thought Carl's voice would come in and be like, it's the news now. Oh, no, right, okay.
Go on.
All right, then.
Professional.
What are you on about, Cal? It's that bloke from Britain's Got Talent. We've got loads of money, us.
So it's the talk of the town, All Elite Wrestling. Who on earth is Hangman Page going to wrestle? Because obviously PAC is not on the show now. It's been cancelled, officially announced by All Elite Wrestling, as we all kind of knew beforehand anyway.
Why?
Because PAC...
Did PAC say no? Did Drangate say no?
Can't
What was
work
it,
out which
Commodore?
one.
He's in our intro for our Vegas show.
Is he?
Oh my, his name dropped in it.
Don't spoil the intro.
No, they're not going to see it.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Only the live crowd will see it.
So...
Oh, yeah. Come and see that if you like, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're in Vegas, come
Aye,
and see.
yeah. If
We're
you're not
doing
in Vegas, tough. We might upload it to the channel a little later date. We might not.
We're doing 2 shows in the Tuscany Suite. One on Friday at
1 p.m.
1 p.m. and one
Yeah.
on Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
3:30 p.m. Well, the main event on Sunday, we are closing the show before the after party thing.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Don't want to, it just means we're a big deal, doesn't it? The Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
Now, I think it was I don't know exactly, Ross, but it was some combination of PAC and Dragon Gate that said no, because he's their champion at the moment and he's being kept very strong. He doesn't lose to anybody. And apparently, according to Meltzer, he wasn't going to lose to Hangman Page. He was going to beat him, but it would have moved him potentially into a feud with Kenny Omega, which he would have lost. And either PAC or Dragon Gate went, no.
He's
Well,
loyal
yeah,
like a dog, isn't he?
But I can see Dragon Gate not wanting to lose to Kenny Omega. He's New Japan's former top guy.
Yep.
And they are the rising second biggest company in Japan.
Yep.
So Yeah, I can understand that.
I can understand it, but it's not fun, is it?
No, it's not. But is PAC off the show for good, or
I
is
think
he?
so.
Yeah.
I think
oh
he is.
well.
They did the match. I've written it down. They did the match in England, in Nottingham, for WrestleGate Pro. So PAC was in the ring. He was already booked on that show. He was cutting a promo. And Dave Bradshaw was on commentary for it.
Of course.
That made me laugh, it did.
Losing his mind.
Nice to hear Dave again.
Yeah.
Dave's a fantastic
I know he
commentator.
is.
He's great.
It's just been a while since I've heard his voice.
Yeah.
Gets so passionate, doesn't he?
He's
Makes you
great.
care. He's like Jim Ross in that respect, isn't he?
He's great on Twitter as well. He's totally in kayfabe. If a heel does something at the show, he's like on Twitter like,
You
you're a
scoundrel."
disgusting person.
The one thing he doesn't do is like Matt Stryker. When Matt Stryker would go, when it'd be like, Matt, if you could just remain quiet for this title match intro down the headsets, and it'd be like, this match is scheduled for 1 fall.
Shots being fired
And
at
then
Matt
he'd-
Stryker by
and then he'd
Sam
go-
Driver here.
And then he'd go like this, like so quietly you could barely hear it. 1 fall. Like that. And it would just be like,
I won't
just
have a
enough
bad
to
word
like.
said about Matt Stryker in my presence. I struggle with a special relationship with him. We did one video.
He was always really
two
sound with me,
intros
actually.
together, I think.
He
from
was
our
properly sound with me.
WTF, and then every time
Yeah.
he'd see me just at the shows, he'd just swear and walk off.
He did that to me a
Shout
couple
in
of
my
times.
face.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had the match at WrestleGate Pro. It ended with a DQ. Hangman Page looked like he was about to win, so Neville booted the ref in the balls. Hangman Page hit
What a
him with the
bastard.
big buckshot lariat, but there was no pinfall. The referee just went, "Oh, DQ him," and everyone was right disappointed. But it had the makings of a very good match, which is sad because they could have had a really, really good match.
Do you think
in Las Vegas.
this might call back to the old IWF days with Richard Tubman and that? They'll bring balls of steel in to ref the next match, so that can't happen.
Maybe, yeah. You're full of niche references today.
Somebody's got to do it.
Now, his opponent is still yet to be announced, but they have made a big signing, All Elite Wrestling have, and it's Sean Spears, a.k.a. Ty Dillinger.
He's in the Battle Royal, isn't he?
He's in the Casino Battle Royale. On the
better
pre-show.
take
Which
place
number
in a
card he
casino.
drew, Sam?
You'll never guess.
Guess which number?
I think it must have been, like, just bear with me. Was it 10?
It was 10.
Bloody
It was
10.
Oh,
10. The 10 of
unbelievable.
diamonds, I believe.
Cease and desist. I
No.
can't. Like, I imagine they're just sat there foaming at the mouth, waiting for him to say the words perfect.
He's
10
got to
or-
change it to 9
like-
now. 9. Yeah, they've been doing these little videos, if you haven't seen, on Twitter, where there's like a woman, she's like a blackjack dealer, I guess, and she gives them a card. Glacier's got one.
She's a terrible dealer because she's just thrown one card out to an empty table every time.
Yep. Have a go at the dealer. And everyone else just sort of kept their card a secret because the card determines which suit you're in, and then the suits enter as a all at once. At a
Is
stage
it all
of
at
this-
once, is it?
At a stage of this battle royal, so it's a 21-man battle royal. There's 4 groups of 5.
Did Jeff Jarrett write this?
No, there's 4 men maybe. There's 4 groups of 5. And then the match starts with the first 5 in the ring, whatever suit the first one is. It's not being revealed yet. Then the next batch of 5. Then the next batch of 5 until there's 20. And then the last person, whoever draws the Joker, is the last person in. Little twist on the Royal Rumble
See, that's why I
format.
got confused. I thought once you got your suit, then there was another drawer to put the suit in an order. But I
think it's
like
just-
it, mate. It's a bit
I think it's all right.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it
Imagine
just
them all
be?
going up the ring. Ah! Did he Braveheart or something?
That's true.
Who's going to get the Ace of Spades? Jimmy Havoc.
Triple H.
Triple
Yeah,
H.
Triple H, maybe.
Now, they all kept their cards a secret, but Ty Dillinger showed his, and when the chips are down, oh, Sean Spears, he went, when the chips are down, you bet on yourself. And then one of the Young Bucks replied, like, we told you under no circumstances to show your card to the camera. But yeah, that's obviously, it was a thing that was widely speculated on when he left WWE because he's Cody's pal. And
They're going to do that faction, weren't they, with Tyler Breeze, the beautiful men in
just
suits.
being handsome.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get, there must have had to be heels because you can't get behind that.
No, we can't.
Well, no.
Well, me, I can't.
I most very definitely could.
Okay. I would envy them from afar. So yeah, it's all shaping up to be a pretty big show. And also, of course, we will speculate on PAC's replacement at the end of this podcast. Now, we do need to talk about the next bit of news, which is pretty nasty stuff. It sadly concerns the tragic death of Ashley Massaro at the age of 39 and all the sort of details that have emerged since then because of her, is it pronounced affidavit or affidavit?
Affidavit.
Affidavit.
I think.
Which her statement essentially from the trial, from the concussion trial, when all the wrestlers
Yeah.
got together and filed a lawsuit against WWE, which has since been thrown out. But hers was released recently and has understandably gained a lot of traction because we won't go into the full details, but it's shocking. It's really shocking stuff. Specifically, she got basically sexually attacked, sexually assaulted during a tour of the Middle East, and it's implied that Vince McMahon encouraged her to cover it up. and it's just very grim. It's just very grim.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we can really say about it.
No, there's a lot of really telling things in that document, and it's out there. You can find it, and I know I found it through Brian Last's Twitter
It's a
account.
hard read, man. When I was reading it, I was like, oh. So just be warned if you're going to read it.
It's not easy reading, but it's something that I think will interest a lot of people.
Yep.
So,
we'll see where it goes from there. There's not much more we can really speculate on it, and also, of course, we just want to wish all of her family and friends our deepest sympathies. It's really tragic news, and she was so young as well, 39.
Yeah, it's no age.
No. And also, I guess our final news piece we should run down. I was going to say in slightly lighter news, but everyone's going to kick off about this. There's another Super Showdown. They're going back to Saudi Arabia.
No, they're always in Australia. It's fine.
No, it's Super Showdown
It's
this
in
time.
Jeddah. You don't know where that is.
It's just Jeddah.
That's what they say.
Right, okay.
It's in
right.
Australia.
It's an international show in Jeddah.
Australia, yeah. That's the one.
The Super Showdown card so far is Sam's dream match, Undertaker versus Goldberg.
I am so intrigued, me.
I can't wait.
It can't go any longer than 3 minutes.
No, it's going to go 10. It'll go 10.
I don't think it'll go 10.
It'll go 10.
Goldberg didn't do 10-minute
can't do
matches
10
in his
minutes.
prime.
Look, they can go 10 minutes by stalling their asses off. You can
Does that
get to
include
10
entrances?
minutes.
That's doable.
No, belt to bell.
The
Like,
entrances are going to be longer than the match.
the entrances
I
will be
think
longer
so.
than the match, but you're looking at like bell to bell, maybe between 5 and 10 minutes.
I hope it's just
I'd
like WrestleMania 33.
I'd say
mate.
8 minutes.
WrestleMania 33, just do that. All the finishes. They've all got 5 finishes stored up. Boom, 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 boom. Get out there.
Nah,
There's a
hour-long time limit draw.
There's a 50-man battle royal.
The biggest battle royal ever.
How's that
can't
gonna
wait.
be
Guess
good?
what the
They're all
number
going to
was?
stand in the ring.
Guess what the number was of the previous biggest battle royal?
Was it 30?
It was 41
41.
on an episode of SmackDown. 41 men in the ring at one time.
I don't know why. It took me
Stats.
so long to pull a number. I was like, was it? Like my life depended on it.
There's also Triple H versus Randy Orton in a non-sanctioned match, so it just shouldn't take place. They've not sanctioned it.
He doesn't like doing it
Oh
properly
no, this
these
is what
days.
they do. That's going to be like just halfway through the show, they just cut the feed off.
Yeah, stop that.
Stop that.
We
None of
did.
this.
We didn't
Back
sanction
in.
it.
Vince bends them over and spanks their bums.
You've advertised it as non-sanctioned. What do you not think we're going to notice, lads? Come on.
Yeah.
Is this because do you think that someone saw the Triple H Batista match and liked it at WrestleMania and wanted to do another one?
Maybe they need to brawl around the car park and very carefully avoid all of the super expensive hypercars.
Maybe
That'd be
Vince
really
was-
good. Just throwing him and he's having to stop himself short.
Vince was just so ashamed he didn't want to sanction it himself.
Ugh.
You can have 20 minutes, lads. Just do it. Get out there. Leave me alone.
There's also Ross's dream match. On the same card as Sam's dream match, we've also got Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon.
The two best in the world.
Two
isn't
best
it?
in the world,
I think
kayfabe.
so,
yeah.
It's going to be an intriguing battle between, the two best in the world today. I wonder who will come out on top. I just can't figure out how Shane's going to win this one. Do you reckon he'll spear him and pin him?
If he
please?
puts blue contact in and spears him,
Can we
yeah,
just stop
that's
and
the
just
best
think
way.
about Shane McMahon clean pinning Roman Reigns?
It'll get massive heat.
I wouldn't. It's not. Can't. It just
The
can't.
table moves.
Oh, because you
Because
got
an erection,
Because you got an
yeah,
erection on the
yeah.
table. Yeah. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE title. We'll talk about how that came about a little bit later on when we do the Raw and SmackDown recap. Finn Balor versus Andrade for the IC
Not
title.
just Finn Balor, though. It's the
It's the demon.
Oh!
Andrade's
Andrade's got no chance.
Don't even get on the plane.
Yeah.
What's he doing? And the match that we're almost looking forward to, of course, Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley.
I can't
which
wait for
I
that.
didn't even realise was on the card until I checked Wikipedia. I
Had
don't
a
know.
big stare down on Raw.
Backstage.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Hey, large.
It's going to be amazing, that. Delayed vertical suplex, a couple of big, throws and that. A Braun move.
Do you reckon?
A Bobby move. A pin.
Before we move on to our Money in the Bank review, do you reckon that this is going to be better or worse than Crown Jewel? Rank the three.
That's not what you should be asking.
Greatest Royal Rumble,
You
Crown
should be
Jewel.
asking if it's better or worse than WrestleMania.
Well, that's in
the
the
best
trailer, isn't it?
WrestleMania ever. 17. Is it going to be better?
Well, no,
than WrestleMania
it's
17?
as good as, if not better than Mania. We already know that. So the thing that, because it's Super Showdown though, so it can't be a Saudi Arabia show because they named the Australian one Super
Yeah,
Showdown.
you've made that joke already. That's,
I know, but look at it.
What do you mean it's in Australia? It's because the other Super Showdown was in Australia. Is that all the joke was, Sam?
Yes.
Oh, man. I was tying my head in knots thinking, what does he mean? Is there a thing
Just
I've missed?
repeating it at you, mate.
I see. I reckon this could be worse than Crown Jewel, but I don't think it will be.
I mean, there are a few good matchups. Like
Crown Jewel was
Ziggler,
pretty
as
bad.
much as nobody will care about it, Ziggler and Kofi will be good. Reigns and Shane will be funny.
Yep.
Triple H and Orton will be funny. Undertaker and Goldberg is just intriguing to the end of the world and back.
Yeah.
The Battle Royal will be a hoot. It always is. It might be all right. It'll be a house show.
Which is the worst out of the three, though?
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel.
Crown
I
Jewel.
thought Greatest Royal Rumble was dire, though.
Babatunde was there, though.
Greatest Rumble was really like boring because
That's what I hated about that one the most. I think was just
Crown Jewel was like the room.
Super Showdown was just a solid show, wasn't it? Just a show.
Yeah.
Not one you want to go to, but like it was just a show, wasn't it?
Was this a big house show, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Buddy Murphy got his big win.
Yeah, he
Iconics
got
got their bigger win.
Iconics, yeah.
It's a shame we got to watch it, really, isn't it, for our jobs? Would you be watching it if you weren't like working on it?
I'd catch like the highlights.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch the full thing.
Speaking of something we did watch in full, let's talk about Money in the Bank on Sunday. It was an incident-packed show, I think it's fair to say, and one that got kind of mixed reviews, but I think generally people sort of have slanted positively on it.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I liked the
It was
show.
a fun show. The pre-show, the Usos beat Bryan and Rowan clean. It wasn't for the titles, but the Usos won anyway. Any thoughts on that match at all?
It was good, wasn't it?
It was quite a good match, yeah.
Yeah,
Eric
it,
Rowan?
it didn't make much sense as to why they didn't like sort of challenge for it, but obviously if they were winning, they didn't want to hotshot those belts over. I thought it would have been better if they challenged because they could have lost still, and it would have kept them both looking strong.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It was a decent match.
Eric
Yeah.
Rowan stole the show, though, for the entire night, though, busting out many new moves.
Jackhammer?
Aye.
oh yeah, the jackhammer and the whisper in the wind.
That wasn't Rowan, though.
No.
Imagine. Wow. Then on to the main show, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match was won by Bayley after she stopped Sonya and Mandy because Mandy was being helped up the ladder physically by Sonya. Thought it was quite a cool finish.
Yeah,
Oh, it was a fun match. Bit short, but it was
Yeah.
a few, like, what's the word? It's a few good things happened, didn't
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Interesting. Intriguing.
New things we haven't seen before.
Innovative. There you go.
Few of them. Spots with the ladders.
The eclipse as well from the ladder on the outside into
Aye.
the ring.
Yeah.
It was good.
Silly woman.
But Emma,
Wiped herself out, didn't she?
she was ready to climb the ladder. She was all writhing around. Carmella had an injury, but it wasn't real. She had
It looked real because she looked legitimately pissed off. She says, "You got me," to Mandy when she went again at her.
a work
yeah, but then
shoot.
they took her out. They took her out down the front. They made the cameras linger on her. She was limping like this.
She put out a tweet saying Mandy was unsafe, then deleted it.
Whoa!
Wow! That was a cat noise, that.
Bloody hell. Yeah, Bayley won. I liked the ending where she stared at them across the ladder. It was a nice dramatic moment, and then just pushed them off.
Yeah.
And
Her career got reinvigorated.
it did, and you could tell the crowd were
Resurrected.
really pleased that she won. It was a big popular choice to win, unlike the other money. Well, we'll get to that in a bit. Next, on to the United States title match, and the first of many odd refereeing moments on the show.
Yes.
Rey Mysterio defeated Samoa Joe. He's the new United States champion, and I think this makes him a Grand Slam
It was the
champion.
first
as well.
ever time he's won that in WCW or WWE.
Wow.
Nice.
In about a minute after he broke Samoa Joe's nose with his sack, with his cock and balls. Samoa Joe's nose was badly broken, his eyes were blackened, and then Rey Mysterio reversed, I think it was a powerbomb, into like a head scissors and pinned him, and Joe's shoulder was just...
He's got a hunchback.
He was
So he can
lying on
never
his
be pinned.
side.
Yeah, never be
He was
pinned.
lying on his side.
Was like this.
Like he was genuinely one arm up, just halfway up to getting himself back on his feet. Really.
I was aghast.
They could have, I think they were going to make it into an angle. I think it was was it
sort
meant
of
to
like
be done?
repaying the
I think it was
Mania
meant to be
favor,
done.
innit?
The,
Like-
the commentators made a big deal about it, but then Rey Mysterio separated his shoulder, didn't he? Legitimately. So they couldn't do anything with it.
Right.
Really. Joe cut a promo on Raw, I think. I remember that happening, where he said, "Oh, you didn't pin me. Give me title back. Set a good example for little Dominic. Or Big Dominic, sorry."
Big Dom.
So maybe it was meant to happen this one. I don't
Maybe.
know. It was still so... They didn't do it like subtly that, you could really make something out of it. It was just so blatant. It was like you're a tit.
Yeah.
Referee.
I read a rumour on Reddit or somewhere about apparently these refereeing mistakes might be on purpose to help everybody kind of move on from the main event of WrestleMania. Ooh.
By hammering home the fact the referees aren't very good.
I know, it doesn't really make much sense. Look, I just read it, all right? It wasn't me.
They should make Kurt Hawkins the referee. Do you remember that time he was a referee on Raw?
He was a perfect
Unbelievable.
Or was it
performance.
Heath Slater? Was Kurt Hawkins the good
Kurt
good
Hawkins
ref?
like spotted
Yeah.
everything.
Oh,
Eyes in the back of his head and everything.
that's his natural calling.
I know.
So that, and then Joe obviously beat down Rey Mysterio in front of his son, and Dominic did nothing, absolutely nothing.
Well, yeah, he just sort of sat there. Like, what's he gonna do?
What? Yeah, well, to be
He's
fair,
going to
what
wipe
is
out
he
Samoa Joe with the 619.
gonna- Yeah, and then don the mask. Put it
12 to 18.
Imagine he just unmasks his dad and just puts it on.
Apparently that's where they're going with it, though. I read something. Was it Alvarez speculating?
They better go the angle of Dominic ripping it off his face and taking it for himself.
Well, Ray will get down on one knee.
And then they have to have like a match to end all matches, and Dominic ends up kayfabe killing his dad, essentially.
I hope it goes to a cage match at SummerSlam, though, with Samoa Joe and Dominic. I just want to see Dominic get hurt. I don't like him.
Whoa!
Seems like
Don't like the haircut, don't like the clothes, don't like the glasses. Hipster. Not got time.
You like Richard Tubman?
I like him. He's
And
different, though. Nice guy, yeah.
Oh.
Haven't met Dominic.
All right, yeah.
He could be a dick.
Next up, it was our favourite match of the evening, obviously. Shane McMahon defeating The Miz again in a cage match this time. Weird refereeing where first The Miz had Shane in a figure four and Shane crawled to the ropes and the referee was like, nope. And the commentary team really hammered home that there's no rope breaks in a cage match. Then, Shane crawled out of the ring, got a chair, and the match continued. And then later on, Miz hit Shane with a skull-crushing finale onto the chair, and Shane got his foot on the ropes, and the ref went, that's a rope break, that.
They didn't make anything on SmackDown, which I thought was the biggest load of bollocks ever. They could have
Oh, yeah,
just like
they didn't
Shane
mention
McMahon
it.
going like, "Oh, I paid that referee, ha ha ha!
That would've
I'm a
made
McMahon, yeah." But this was just legitimate brain fart by the referee.
Apparently, one of the referees tweeted something out which clarified, like, it can be a rope break for this, but it can't be a rope break for that.
Bull bollocks.
And that's like, no.
Bull bollocks.
Commentary they just acknowledged it openly. They were like, the referee's made a mistake.
The bull S chants from the crowd. Michael Cole was even like, the WWE Universe are not very happy with this referee's decision. It's like, if they're going to acknowledge those chants, you've messed up, mate.
Yeah.
The match continued. Shane kicked out of a picture-perfect frog splash from The Miz.
And a scroll cushion finale to the chair.
He got his
That
foot on
would
the ropes
have
for that.
killed a normal man.
Yeah, it would. So Shane's just the hardest man ever.
Yeah.
After taking all his punishment, Miz went for the slingshot thing, and Shane just immediately regained all of his strength in midair.
Yep.
Scuttled up the cage, got to the top. Shane caught him. He was teasing a superplex back into the ring, but then Shane
Slipped out his clothes. I loved it, mate. I thought it was a fantastic way to end.
yeah, it was
It
novel.
keeps it going, potentially.
I don't want to see any more after that slipping out the clothes thing. That's
No, I want an Inferno match
Unless
next.
George,
You can't slip out over a flaming rope. Let's see how they handle that one.
George can't be in that match.
Imagine how sweaty Shane would get as well.
I know.
Surrounded by fire.
George would get cooked
Kennel from Hell match. Would do that.
with George around the side of the ring.
Yeah, just George being the dad.
I just miss George, mate. I can't believe he wasn't there.
Yeah, he didn't even feature at all.
No.
Too busy making his
Struck this
indie
pot of
bookings.
gold in the form of George, but they never capitalised on it.
Next up, the Cruiserweight Championship match, which was bumped to the main show. Sam, thoughts?
About time.
Okay.
About time. 205 Live gets treated like a second-class show because it's like an hour long and it's only ever 2 matches long and it's all the smaller guys and it's just all the flippy stuff and there's no storylines and it's come a long way from those times when it was like very much just exhibition-style matches with smaller, flippier guys.
I'll tell you what I thought was weird, though. At the start of whoever entered first, they did like a wide shot of the entire arena.
Yeah.
Thousands just streaming
It's
up the
because nobody
stairs.
watches it. Like, nobody
I
watches
don't know, why
it.
would you highlight that, though?
Well, I think they just have these things pre-programmed. You sort of, when you like live directing shows and stuff, if you need to direct attention away from something or you need a wide shot, then you have to throw to it. And you can't fake some of that stuff. Like, if people are walking out, they're walking out. But more people need to watch 205 Live, and hopefully this got their product in front of more people.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the best advert, personally.
It was a nice little match.
I know, but
It was flippy enough and
If
it
you
was
want
exciting enough.
if you want an advert on the main show, you don't pick Arya Daivari, do you? Because he's very much like the sort of antithesis of everything they do on that show.
Antithesis.
I'm having a stroke today, so stressed about this trip.
Daivari's not that much of an antithesis. He's
That's the one.
not a super flippy guy, but the whole show's about being 205 pounds and under. It's not about being flippy.
It was
So-
when Buddy Murphy was there.
Exactly, and that's why Buddy Murphy's moved on, and it's sort of, I think
Where's
they're
he
going to
gone?
try and... He's on the main roster, so you'll never see him again.
It's on SmackDown.
He's probably out on the road somewhere doing house shows.
He did an unaired promo 2 weeks ago, I think, which was on the YouTube channel, but not the main show.
Oh yeah,
So that's where that's
He
going.
had a Heroes return to Full Sail for that one match,
Yeah,
which was
against
amazing,
Dream,
like
yeah.
absolutely amazing. But no, I think it's going to be a long time before we see Buddy Murphy again.
Tony Nese got the win, kicking out of all of Daivari's biggest moves before hitting him with our favourite finisher here at Cultaholic.com, the running Nese.
It's funny because
Bloody
it's
hell.
like sounds like knees, but
It
it
does.
also sounds like Nice because it's his name.
Oh God, creative geniuses down there on 205 Live. Then we had the first of Becky Lynch's 2 title defenses, her versus Lacey Evans for the Raw Women's Championship, which
and
to
Lacey
me
got gypped.
felt like a... Oh, yeah, there's more weird refereeing in this one.
This was unbelievable, this.
So do you want to explain what happened?
The roll-up, Lacey just rolled her up. Referee goes, can't see anything here. 4 seconds, the shoulders were down. And a second later, Becky reverses that roll-up into the disarmer. Taps out straight away.
My favourite thing when we were watching it, and you were like, it wasn't 4 seconds. There was no way. Let's count it. And we got to 4, and you were like, fair enough.
Yeah, it was 4. Yeah.
But I thought Lacey did well, me, because a lot of people have been, and rightfully so after the Royal Rumble, I guess, where she had a bit of a bad time. There's been questioning her in-ring abilities and whatnot, but I thought she did really well.
You got to think of the Royal Rumble. That was, I think, what was that? Her first match in front of more than maybe 500
more than
people?
NXT. Yeah.
She had a few, like when they used to do the takeover things, like the weekly NXT shows before the takeover. She had a few matches on those.
I remember thinking she was a standout in the Mae Young Classic she was in, but I don't know whether that was because she was wrestling against more experienced indie sort of women who could carry her to a better match. But yeah, I think that she did all right in Money in the Bank. And
I like that little moonsault thing she does, where she's on the floor and she like rolls back and pew. Ooh, it's lovely, fluid.
It's a bit like Alexa Bliss does a similar
with the knees.
I remember
Disney's.
She did this thing in NXT, which she hasn't done yet on the main roster. But she like when somebody was downed, and she'd just do press ups on them.
Oh, like Scotty Steiner,
just taunting them, just like on them.
Oh, I see.
Like it's horrible.
Lacey maths.
Then Becky Lynch headed to the back, but she was cut off by Charlotte Flair. It was their match right now.
What a beautiful smile.
Charlotte was hammering it up big time, wasn't she?
She was loving it. Becky was like, all right then, okay. They got in the ring. They had a pretty decent match as well. I think Becky did a good job of gradually selling her exhaustion as the match went on. And then Charlotte set her up for the natural selection on the apron. Becky held on the rope. Charlotte fell to the outside. And then who should burst down the ramp again but Lacey Evans? Big women's right into the face of Becky. Charlotte got back in the ring. There was a roll-up to swerve us all for a second. But then Charlotte kicked out and beat her with a boot. A big old
boot.
Big boot. And so Becky's only one champion now. But it wasn't the end of this segment because then, God, what do we think about this? Bayley ran down. The crowd were loving it. Anyone want to give any thoughts on how you enjoyed this? Sorry, I was waiting for someone to jump in. I was just rambling on. I'm not used to this.
I liked it because it means Bayley's like it's come full circle. She's gone from being the idiot who couldn't work out the kendo stick to being a proper fighting woman with a championship belt again.
Have we seen her use a kendo stick since?
That's a weakness, that.
That's a weakness.
So now all three of the horsewomen are in prominent positions, and we didn't see a sign of Sasha Banks.
Do you reckon that's on purpose? Like that post they put on social media this
Oh,
week.
that
it was great.
Yeah.
Don't quit, be legit. Haha. Bitch.
But she did. She tried to quit. Yeah. I don't know. It's very strange, isn't it? I wonder if they're planning to bring her back or if she genuinely wants to leave. But I'm pleased for Bayley. I think that she has had a rough time on the main roster. Especially because she was one of my favourite parts of NXT back
She's
in the
everyone's favourite part of NXT.
I hope that it means we're going to see a lot more character development for Bayley.
Yeah.
Because it's only got so far with the whole, she's like this weird adult that's also a child. We get it, it's fun and the character, but it doesn't mean that there can't be depth there.
Yeah.
And I think with the belt, we can hopefully see some depth.
She said she's said goodbye to the hugs on SmackDown, Sam. It started.
Whoa.
She's not going to start hugging people anymore.
Well, what's that awkward guy going to do on the ramp?
Awkward guy. Did you see that picture of Becky Lynch?
Oh, my God.
No.
Why do people... If you're at home and you want to do that to people at meet and greets and whatnot.
What's this?
Becky, you're going to do the old...
Yeah.
What's that? Ghost. Like that. Around Becky Lynch, basically. But around a bit lower down. And Becky's like got her fist cocked right to smack him. I felt so sorry for her.
Yeah,
what member of
so
security
weird.
allowed that to happen?
So weird. Just stop doing it, people.
Yeah.
Like your usual meet and greet photos, just like handshake. Oh yeah.
The fist sometimes. Yeah.
Oh God. It's like those pictures in bed with Sonny.
Oh.
To be fair, I would have one of those.
That was
for a joke.
hilarious. The fact that they brought a bed.
To be fair, that
and
was
a
Sonny's
corner.
idea.
Was it?
I think so. I think that was Sonny's idea. She must have green-lighted it, whereas I can't imagine Becky was all right with that.
Yeah.
Well, you can see from her fists, as you
she's
said.
right.
Once she's out of
Spark
prison,
on.
you'll be able to talk to her on Skype again. So
Right.
you might be able to get yourself.
Let me know
one
when
of them
she's out,
pictures.
Sam. I'll make sure to get indulgent in that sort of stuff.
Next match was Roman Reigns versus Elias. It almost didn't happen because Elias jumped Roman backstage, shattering his acoustic guitar, but he had an electric one which he took out of the ring, played a little song, insulting the Hartford, Connecticut crowd, and then went back up the ramp, and then Roman Reigns came out. Big, heroic Superman punch from out the entrance. He looked fantastic. Back in the ring, spear, 1, 2, 3.
Well, Elias rolled on his side 30 meters first.
Yeah, great. And then, yeah.
That's how hard the punch was, though.
The thing is, it was like he was comically like rolling, going like, whoa, like
good.
that. It was.
Whereas a few weeks prior on SmackDown, Shane McMahon took 2 of them and just went.
But that's Shane McMahon.
He doesn't have to sell for the.
No, he doesn't.
For the Superman punch.
He's got an iron jaw.
The thing is, for Shane McMahon, do you think that Vince allows Shane to wrestle because it's sort of like these are all Shane's toys? Like, we all had action figures. Shane has actual wrestlers, and he's just like. Where we'd sit and play with them in the ring, he's just like, I'm going to go beat him, and I'm going to beat him, and I'm going to do this.
I want a shark cage. Mattel. It wasn't Mattel, was it? I don't know who it was. Roman Reigns won in seconds, which I think was the right call. I think it was the best they could have done with this match.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't really looking forward to seeing a drawn-out match.
We talked about it in the sense that I think you run the risk of, yes, Roman's just come back, but and after facing something so hard, and people do love him and people are really happy that he's healthy and back, but you do run the risk of, if you put him back into these bigger feuds and there's not really a lot there for him other than he's Roman Reigns, that people are going to sort of start to slowly sour on the whole character again. Not him as a person, but him as a character. And yeah, I think the best thing you can do for now is just give him these small squashes and make him look super strong, and occasionally have him bust out a bit of a longer match every now and then.
He's going to get beaten Saudi Arabia, though.
Well, he's up against the best in the world, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
It's not actually in Saudi Arabia, it's in Australia. The next match was Seth Rollins versus
What are you saying
AJ
that
Styles
for, man? What are you saying that for?
for the Universal Championship. And it was match of the night, and probably a main roster match of the year contender, at least, if we don't count NXT. This was a really good match.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be by the end of the year. So I think this was the first of a few between those two. I think they're going to build them up, get better and better each time.
What do you think? Like, did you just go like do the tickle in the balls there?
Aye, well, you know,
A little bit tickle in the
tease.
balls.
SummerSlam will be a little rub, and then
What's Mania then?
No.
Mania next year, full penetration.
So
it graduates from
why is
handshake,
it always me that does that
handshake
sort of
to,
stuff?
to a ball tickle next, and then it goes at like Rumble. It's like a little bit of a touch, and then within like a month after Rumble.
Have you never been part of a club, Sam? I've been part of many clubs where it goes from a handshake to a ball tickle, to a rub, to a full penetration.
the best moment of this match was the curb stomp being countered right into the Styles Clash. That was a fantastic counter.
Yeah.
It was great. There was just jizz everywhere. It was fantastic.
It's like in Ross's clubs.
But Rollins managed to pick up the victory. I thought he took a little bit long to get into the pinfall from the... We thought it was a false finish because he stomped him and then he went, oh.
Yeah.
But
Maybe he was burying him.
I don't think...
Yeah, it was the Triple H pin. Minute and a half crawl.
And then they did. What did they do afterwards? They had a nice show of respect. They shook hands. It looked at first like AJ was going to spark him out.
But
instead,
AJ, he was stood there going like, "This isn't easy for me, man."
It's hard.
Like, yeah.
Rollins was like, "Yeah, I've got to get to the back and watch Game of Thrones," because they were all reacting to it on YouTube. All the up, down, down lads. And there was a bit in the finale which was obviously quite shocking because Cesaro and Woods and them all go like, and Rollins sits forward and goes, "Oh!" Just freezes like that. There's like pizza boxes around them and stuff. It's really good. Just
Didn't they put that match on like when Game of Thrones started to compete? I think that's what they did.
Ah, makes sense.
Oh no.
So Rollins might have missed a bit. I don't know.
That's a rib on Rollins, that, because nobody
Yeah.
loves it. Like, wait. Next up, well, we thought there were 2 matches left, but there were 3 segments left because the Lucha House Party came out.
This
Lucha
was,
about.
Because we weren't aware that
this was a
Lars Sullivan was
segment.
big and tough.
Yeah, we didn't know that
I
yet.
didn't know that yet.
Is he as big and tough as the Milky Bar Kid though? Is this where the feud's
Strong
going?
and tough.
Oh yeah, it's strong and tough Milky Bar Kid.
Ha ha.
Oh. Well.
Only the best, though, is good enough. Lars came out and beat up. Well, in kayfabe, Lars Sullivan got the better of the exchange. But
He won the battle.
shoot,
Yeah.
He didn't win the war though.
no,
Kalisto
Kalisto just
permanently scarred
decked
him.
him in the top of the head.
Kalisto had done that thing in like hard kids in school where they put their keys between their knuckles before they punch you. That's what he did.
Yeah, it was... I've just had a flashback to primary school there when... a lad called Scott in my ear put a pencil in my ear. He got bollocked
I've
off
got
the
pencil
teacher.
Yeah.
on
Absolute
my
bollock.
thumb still from first school. Year 4. Can you see that little dark spot there?
Yeah.
Pencil lead. I got stabbed.
Wow.
Couldn't get it out. So it's been in there for, what year are we in now? 18 years?
Jesus.
19 years? 20 years? 19 years.
Is it going to be nominated for the Hall of Fame in a second?
Maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
Lars Sullivan beat them all up, but Kalisto did get a shot in. Lars was bleeding everywhere. An unwise angle, I think, given the recent controversy surrounding Lars Sullivan.
Yeah, having him come out beating up 3 Hispanic talent after the things he's been posting.
He even beat up Lindsay.
Yeah.
WWE Championship match, Kofi Kingston defeated Kevin Owens clean, even after Kevin Owens removed his trainers. Took his shoes off.
What, why?
I don't know. I can't
I
remember.
think
didn't
it
even
was.
try to-
I think it was. He was going to try and hit the senton onto the feet, thereby making him either unable to stand or unable to hit the Trouble in
I didn't
Paradise.
think of that.
So like he would. That's Kofi's deadliest weapon. Break him.
But he was going to miss,
Working the
though, because
feet.
Kofi lifted his knees to where his chest would be.
Well, yeah, because Kofi blocked the move. But if he
Yeah,
had,
but if his feet stayed
would've-
flat, Kevin would have landed on his chest.
no, have he thrown himself further, Ross?
But he didn't know, did he? That's why he got the knees up and hit.
What?
Kofi
Lie
won.
flat on your back and put your knees up. They go over your chest, don't they?
Yes.
And Kofi put his knees up, didn't he?
Yeah, but we saw Kevin jump off, so we don't know if Kofi rolled either. Kofi could have moved.
Oh, yes. Yeah, yeah, clutching at straws.
Kofi won. Him and Xavier had a big old celly in the ring. And that was it. I think there was no afters for that.
No.
Just the next 2 nights' time on SmackDown, which we'll talk about in a bit. It was an all right match. It had to follow an excellent Universal title match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like a bit of a ball tickler game, by the way SmackDown went, so
Right.
maybe we're going to do that again.
Well, I mean,
We've
Kofi's
had
not
the
going to
handshake.
be champion
Just
for
a bit
long. He's going to
annoyed.
lose it to Dolph.
Oh,
Saudi
yeah.
Arabia.
Just a bit annoyed that we've got heel Kevin Owens back this early.
Right.
It
I
wasn't
like heel
supposed to
Kevin
happen,
Owens,
to be fair.
but I know, but it's just disappointing that it's had to happen this soon.
They can never turn him babyface again, though, because no one will trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they give a good enough reason for him to go babyface, like maybe, I don't know, Dominic beats up his son or something.
Can't do that, Owen. Poor Owen.
And the main event was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, which was, for the most part, very, very good. Really enjoyed
And then
it.
it got amazing.
Well,
No, it didn't. This was like eating a lovely apple pie all the way through the evening and finding a great big bloody turd. I don't know why I say great like that. A great big bloody turd right in the bottom.
Were you going for Russell Crowe?
I was going to say great big bloody
Fighting
turd.
all over the world.
So, Brock Lesnar came out with Ali on the verge of victory after several hellacious spots throughout the match, most of which were taken by poor Finn Balor.
Yes.
And then Brock Lesnar came out.
Ali froze.
He was there. Excuse me, he was there. He was
For
ready
20
to put it down.
seconds, he was just stuck. Couldn't do anything.
Lesnar lobbed a ladder into a cameraman, hitting him right in the head.
They've got health insurance, it's fine.
Yeah, but Lesnar walked down, and part of me thinks he definitely saw him, and he just went, "Way!" And then, yeah, he was not getting on that ladder unless he was winning. There
He
was
won.
no chance.
He
so,
did
yeah.
win. And all these lads are lying around the ring, killing themselves. And he's like, there we go. Just have that.
The heat.
The heat was immense, and there was a lot of fallout about it on Raw. So,
I mean, as we sit here now with him with the briefcase, it's very tantalising because it's Brock Lesnar with a briefcase. But when he eventually wins, I think they've got to have him lose me somehow.
Yeah, that's what I'm
when he
saying.
cashes in.
What if he doesn't win?
But, you know,
Because you have this huge building for months. It's like, what's he going to do with it? Where's he going to turn up? What's he going to do? And he's going to even try and cash in and then be like, no, actually, I'm going to wait.
But do you reckon Brock Lesnar will let Vince McMahon say, how are you going to lose, pal?
Well, he's not going back to UFC because they won't match his money. So he'll turn up, I think, more for Vince if Vince offers him more money.
I think he's just going to win me. He's going to piss everybody off and we'll be back to doing what we did for 3 years.
I don't know. I think I can see him losing and then just going into more of almost a retirement run.
I reckon he might be the first person to hold it for over a year, and they just won't mention it. You'll just hold it for over a year, and they'll be like, oh, it's fine.
Well, he just comes out at the end of Money in the Bank next year after somebody's cashed in and won and just cashes in on that.
Well, that would be quite good, that.
I wouldn't
A
like
double
that.
cash.
Oh, yeah, if it happened technically before that
The end of the
stage
show.
of the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because then it wouldn't be a full year.
We're on to you, Vince. I know what's going to happen.
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame!
So it's time for everyone's favourite segment, the Cultaholic Hall of Fame. Last week, myself, Sam, and Matthew gave 3 picks because that was when you were off.
I was not here last week.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Was I not?
You weren't here last week, no. I don't think
Oh.
so.
Was that a
God.
week ago?
It's been the longest week of my life.
So we had 3 picks. We'll start off with the third place one, which was Sam's pick, Angelo Dawkins.
Yeah.
15% of the vote.
What?
It was for his line on NXT
Oh,
to the Viking Raiders.
I've never met him. Well, never seen a more boring man in my life.
Oh, it was a good line,
Oh,
though.
Angelo Dawkins.
get it washed, mate.
I saw it. Triple H having a little ball tickle with the main roster.
Yeah.
You're a bit tickling balls today, don't you?
Yeah.
You're going to love
Do
my
you not
Hall
like your
of
balls
Fame
being
pick.
tickled?
You're going to like my Hall of Fame pick then.
Oh, no. In second place, Matthew's pick with 19%, Chili Heatwave Doritos, because of that ridiculous story when he bought the wrong flavour from an American duty-free or whatever, not duty-free, like an American airport shop, and then took it back and complained because it was
I
the
didn't
wrong
think it was an
flavour.
airport. I think it was just like, imagine
Oh,
it
I
was just
thought it was
like
an
a
airport.
7-Eleven.
What?
It's like,
How did you get his money back?
So what happened was,
How?
let's tell this story for the third time on the podcast.
I was outraged.
He thought that the red flavour, as it is over here, red flavour is chili heatwave. In America, red is cheese.
Oh,
So
well,
he went and
I'm
picked
on
it
his
up.
side.
But then,
How dare they change the colour
Just
of the
read
packets?
it.
I think we changed
Oh,
the colour
no.
of the packets, mate.
Well, whatever. How dare they
Yeah.
not be the same? Doritos.
But he then, because he bit into it and was like, oh, no. Instead of going and spending another $1 on a pack of crisps,
$1
he
a
took
dollar?
it back. He took it back and requested a refund. He then got a refund for an open bag of crisps.
Must have been a British person behind the till, though.
No, it was
No,
an
no.
American woman.
Too polite to
He
say
had
no.
like a proper funny accent for her and everything. I can't
Yeah.
remember how.
It's like,
how-
well, I'm sorry about that, hon. It was like that.
yeah.
And in first
Dirty
place,
Dan.
I'll get you, dirty Dan.
and in first place, it was my pick from the email that a listener very kindly sent in explaining the Steiner maths theory, which I think ended up being like Steiner had about 54.54% chance of win in his match against Samoa Joe at Sacrifice. So that was the picks for that. Now I don't know what to do because usually Matthew then throws to the winner to go first, but
Throw it to yourself.
that's a bit.
Throw it out to somebody
I might
else.
throw it to
then.
Ross because he wasn't here last week.
Right.
I'll throw it to you, Ross, if you got one ready.
I do, yes.
Go on.
I'm going to go for Patrick Starr.
The SpongeBob SquarePants character.
Because on the pre-show, and after I had the nonsense with that promo where the Usos mentioned Patrick Starr and SpongeBob, Corey Graves called Patrick Starr incompetent. And it's just not true.
Patrick is by very nature incompetent.
No, he's not, Sam.
I've watched
You
pretty
haven't
much
seen
every
the-
episode of SpongeBob.
Well, have you seen the Patrick Starr sitcom on YouTube? Episode 7.
What? Wait.
Because I have. And Patrick Starr's a very intelligent man.
What's this?
I don't know if it's a YouTube exclusive thing, but on YouTube there is a Patrick Starr sitcom. I
He
forget
once
what the title
went.
was.
He once went a full weekend thinking that 2 people were his parents before realizing, wait, they're not my parents, and they're like, wait, you're not our son.
We've all been through that.
He thought mayonnaise was an instrument.
We've all been through that. I would love to play a tune with some mayonnaise.
What does he do on this show?
He just becomes intelligent.
Oh,
It's
right.
a sitcom, so I've not seen all of them.
Is
I've
this
seen
part
it.
of the SpongeBob Network rather than?
I don't know.
the
It's
main-
on YouTube.
That
though.
was a joke. about
Episode
the-
7.
All right.
SpongeBob Network.
There's WWE Network, put
Oh.
extra content, that sort of stuff.
But there's an episode dedicated to Patrick turning intelligent. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just Googled Patrick Starr intelligent, and it came up. So I think Patrick Starr deserves some recognition.
I mean, Patrick should go in the Hall of Fame just for being Patrick.
You would strike me as a man who's got a tattoo of Patrick.
I want a tattoo of Patrick.
Why?
He's got a tattoo of Ralph.
I've got Ralph Wiggum. I want Patrick on the other side, holding his
Deadly
little jar
duo,
of
that.
mayonnaise.
On the other
In
side
his
of
band
what?
outfit.
Just clarify there because it sounds.
My penis. No, I've got
Not the clothes you do there as well. Just my cock.
my penis. No, it's Ralph's on the outside of my left ankle,
Right.
or like left
Right.
shin. So
You got an
Patrick could go on
affinity for the
inside.
stupid characters on programs?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
definitely.
I thought you'd be more of a Squidward man as an editor, as a stressed man.
As you grow, you become Squidward. You realise that Squidward is just a normal person that
Just
wants
trying to live
peace
his
and
life.
quiet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lives next door to an idiot and another idiot, but they're idiots with hearts of gold.
Okay.
And quite often he forgets that they've got hearts of gold, and he gets too bogged down in the monotony of his adult life, and just as we all do.
Yeah.
And I mean, Christ, we've got to sit on a plane for ages later.
Yeah, we do.
So long.
Go away.
God, how unlucky are we?
I'm excited for it. I am. Not the flight, the Las Vegas.
I love the
itself.
flights, mate.
Do you like the
Oh,
flight?
really?
I love a long flight, me.
Are you one of them?
Ooh, get comfortable in a nice chair. Have a nice sit down.
Are you joking?
I
All right.
love a good sit down, me.
Yeah, but they're not comfortable.
Oh, I'll get comfortable.
No, and the worst thing is when you get on a plane, it's like you're sitting in the middle. Like, no, give me a bloody window seat. I nearly said the F word. Give me a window seat and don't sit anybody next to me. That's what I want.
I think we'll probably have people sitting to Vegas in May. It seems like it's going to be a bit of a busy plane. But anyway, thank you, Ross, for that pitch.
No problem, Jack, anytime.
Cheers. I don't know how Matthew does this. I feel like we've actually underrated him quite severely because I'm struggling at times on this podcast. Sam?
I'm going. Well, I was originally going to go for Kalisto for beating up Lars Sullivan and making him bleed, but then I thought there was a better instance of that on the show, and that was Rey Mysterio's hardened old man testicles smashing in Samoa Joe's nose.
What would you call them on the reaction? Meaty clackers.
Meaty clackers.
Meaty
clackers. Yes. So Rey Mysterio's meaty clackers are my suggestion for Hall of Fame this week.
How do we visually represent that if we put it in the Hall of Fame?
You know that those toys that clack together?
Yeah.
Or you could have Nick Fleetwood's hand from the Rumours cover with the two little iron balls.
Okay, yeah.
Let's get one of those naked statues in Rome. They'll have some meaty clackers on there.
No, because like historically in like art and stuff, it was more attractive and desirable to have smaller clackers.
Yeah,
that's why they've all got smaller.
I subscribe to that theory today as well.
Right.
No, that's it. Yeah, it's got to be the hand from the Rumours cover, I guess.
So we've got Patrick Starr, Rey Mysterio's two testicles,
meaty clackers. Don't undersell them.
I'm going to go for more of a metaphysical concept, which was Randy Orton's Money in the Bank strategy.
I thought you were going to go like football again.
No.
Like oxygen.
The work of John Dunn in the 1500s. No, I'm going for Randy Orton's Money in the Bank strategy because I don't know if you saw his tweet the other day. He tweeted, after Finn Balor had done his tweet, which was a compilation, a supercut of all of the nasty bumps he took in that match, like the big one on the ladder, the one on the side of the ladder and everything. He tweeted that and put, "Good morning," because he's hard. But Randy Orton's tweet was better. He said something like, "That's how you do a Money in the Bank match, Randy 2 bumps." So this is just the best thing.
That better start a chat.
I saw him quote Ty Dillinger and Tyler Breeze Sean Spears and Tyler Breeze have launched their own wrestling school. And Randy Orton quote tweeted their announcement thing and said, whatever email address it was, "Can you teach me how to do a Money in the Bank match properly?"
That was the one I'm thinking of, sorry.
Yeah.
That's the tweet I'm thinking of.
There you go. That's the one.
Randy 2 bumps on the end.
Yeah,
yes.
funny.
I like that. His strategy was fantastic all the way through. He just kept pulling smaller men out of the ring, dropping them on the announce table, and almost won the match because of it. Fair play, Randy. Had a bit of a rest on the outside for long stretches. And I can't think of anyone more deserving this week.
He's won it before. He doesn't need it again.
What did he win for?
The Money in the Bank. He's won it twice.
Oh, I thought you meant the Hall of Fame. He might be in the Hall of Fame.
He may be.
Just pick a different picture of him.
Was he shaking hands with Cox?
This isn't Randy Orton himself. This is
strategy.
The strategy.
So put him but Einstein.
Yes, or like a brain.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we've got to recap for the Hall of Fame this week.
Patrick Starr.
Ray's bollocks.
Randy Orton's strategy in the Money in the Bank ladder match. To vote for those, head to patreon.com/Cultaholic, as I'm sure you want to because it's just such an intense and competitive week. And have fun when you do it as well. What does Matthew? Matthew always goes, "Give us your money," because he thinks that's funny.
I hate it when he does that.
Yeah, I know.
I always say to him, "Don't do that."
Yeah, we told him.
Yeah.
Don't be like.
Just a loose cannon.
I know he says
so unprofessional.
I know he says it ironically, but
is it ironic?
I don't know. You can't tell with him. I know.
Just wish you would stop.
If you want to, then feel free to subscribe to us on patreon.com/Cultaholic.
If you don't want to,
if you don't want to, that's fine. We're not going to be like.
Give us your money.
There it is.
There we go.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Raw and Smackdown Recap.
Now it's everyone's favourite segment, the Raw and Smackdown Recap. It was all the fallout from Money in the Bank. And I've written some lovely, lovely notes. Let's start with Raw because that is the first in the week of the two. What am I sound like it's like a teacher trying to start his lessons.
Monday comes before Tuesday.
There are 7 days. There are 7 days. Bit of Barney the Dinosaur.
Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi et dimanche. France. That was a song we learned.
I don't know.
The teacher gave up towards the end by just going France.
We never learned a song for it. It was just like the teacher would stand at the front and go lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche.
We had songs, us,
you just
we were
repeat
stupid.
There was one about 3 chickens, but I can't remember it.
I never did French. Did German.
We had French club after school in first school. That's what I went to.
We had. Did you have Bibliobus? The like the library type stuff where they would send you French magazines and newspapers.
I think so, but I don't think I opted in.
Yeah.
We had Babblefish. Everyone has Babblefish. Use Babblefish? That got me a B GCSE to Babblefish. Forza Babblefish.
Did anyone It's gone. It's totally gone. Oh yeah, did anyone do Latin in year 7 and 8, or is that just because
Latin?
We had
Latin.
the choice to for a GCSE.
Caecilius est in horto and all that sort of stuff?
I didn't do it like
Latin.
There'll be people watching this video who did Cambridge Latin course, and they'll be going, Caecilius est in horto, Jack.
And they'll be fanning themselves with their thousands of pounds.
Yeah, I was on a bursary. I'm not one of them rich kids. I just want to point that out right now. Okay, I had to do entrance exams and everything. Raw started with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Brock looks happier than I've ever seen him.
I like the boombox, mate.
There's Money in the Bank boombox.
It was funny.
Mm.
Many laughs were had.
Many memes were made.
Many memes were made.
Yes. And he's just so happy, and Paul Heyman is glowing it up, as he always does. And then Seth Rollins comes out first, I think, and challenges him, or has a war of words with him, and Paul Heyman drops such a hammer on him. He says, well, Rollins is basically saying, you should cash in on me tonight. I don't want to wait around. Cash in tonight. Come on, let's do it. And Heyman goes, you should be patient, Seth, and you should be used to waiting by now. Just like you waited 7 hours for your girlfriend to win the main event of WrestleMania. I was like, whoa! Great. Yeah, Rollins got in his face a bit. Then Kofi came out, and they both were saying, nah, cash in on me. I want it. We're both good babyface fighting champions.
Idiots.
And then Heyman dropped another bomb and went, look, you're both auditioning to have a main event with Brock Lesnar. Who's the real champion? Who's the real box office draw here? Whoa.
Then Brock levers both of them with the case and just walks out with the belts and the case. What are they going to do?
The show. Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Swear down. Every pitch you make involves Lesnar being a big, tough
How many
man.
posters of Brock Lesnar do you have on your bedroom walls?
Just the one.
I didn't even
And
know
it's
you were that big.
Is it on the ceiling so you can
It's, it's from DeviantArt.
I didn't realise until recently that you were such a big Brock Lesnar fan.
Yeah. I think obviously the run of the last 5 or so years has been diabolical, but you can do good things with Lesnar, and he is getting older, and I genuinely think that after whatever this Money in the Bank thing boils down to, we could see him start to properly wind down in terms of like a retirement style run.
I think he'll still be going in his 60s, man. He's got those sort of genetics.
I don't think he'd want to, though. He's a proper farm boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Got some farmer strength. He's a Mack truck. You get run over.
AJ Styles lives there.
Later on in the show, the two champs team together in a tag team match to beat Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley, who are part of that loose heel collective that just exists now in the upper mid card. I hate it. It's something I complain about it every week on Graded. Just this loose group of heels that are just friends. But it's not like the
Look,
league.
their mums don't come and pick them up straight after the show every week, right? So they've got it hard, so they just hang out together, and now they're friends, right?
Yeah,
that's
enough,
it.
Yeah. But sometimes some of them are friends, sometimes some of them aren't.
It's because one of them often nicks the other one's like dinner money.
Yeah.
And it's all because there's problems at home, mate. You feel good now?
No,
feel
I
good?
don't feel good. No, I feel terrible. Rollins and Kofi beat the heels, and
Picturing Drew McIntyre's dad. Just turn the weens against us.
After the match with Rollins and Kofi celebrating, Lashley speared them both. Brock teased a cash in, but then Heyman said, no, not quite yet. And I think he said we'll reveal it next week. I wonder which Middle Eastern country, of any of them, could possibly be the destination.
Australia.
Oh, God, Rollins hasn't got a match, has he?
Rollins hasn't got a match.
No.
It's going to be against Brock.
That's who it's going to be against, isn't it?
Now let's talk about the second biggest story on Raw, which was my favourite aspect of it. I'm interested to hear your opinions on this because I loved it. I don't know why, because it was bad. The 24/7 championship was unveiled by Mick Foley, who was disappointed in his own promo afterwards.
It was not his fault.
It wasn't Mick's fault.
No. He's from a different age.
He said, I'm going to leave this title in the ring, and whoever claims it first is the first champion, and from then on...
Nobody wanted it, though.
Somebody should have jumped that barricade. Just grabbed it.
But they did that, and then they were like everyone just wanted to fight instead of getting the belt. It was so weird.
The two...
I think there was like 5 or 6 different opportunities where 5 or 6 different people could have just gone in the ring, but they didn't. They wanted to fight instead.
Unofficially, the first man to touch it was Carl Anderson. But him and Gallows grabbed one end each and had a bit of a tug of war. And eventually it boiled down to Drake Maverick and Titus O'Neil. And Titus O'Neil looked at him and realised, I'm 3 times your size, and just chucked him out the ring. And then Titus O'Neil was the first champion. That's always going to be a thing now. Forever.
He deserves it. He's a good, wonderful father.
Yeah, he seems like a nice man.
Did he kiss the title on the lips as well?
No. Celebrate on the right. He barely had time to do Sam. He kissed it goodbye because on the ramp... Oh, my God. God. I've never said something so... radio DJ. He kissed it goodbye because he was on the ramp celebrating with it, and then he was rolled up by Robert Roode. Not Bobby, Robert.
Right.
Bit later on in the show, Robert's hanging about backstage, hiding from everyone. He hides in R-Truth's car. He trusts him, which you never trust anyone when you've got the 24-hour championship. But Hurricane made that mistake with the hardcore belt with Mighty Molly when she turned on him. And then R-Truth diverted everyone away. He thought he was just being nice, but instead he blindsided Robert, bashed his head against his own car, against R-Truth's car, probably a rental, and pinned him. And now R-Truth is the 24/7 champion. He said, I'm going to take this European title to SmackDown Live.
Before driving off down a no-entry road.
Really?
Irresponsible, horrible driving.
One of the Usos that got in bother for that. It was
Naomi.
Naomi got in bother for that.
Go down there, Ron. So he did.
What do we think of the 24/7 title?
It's a fantastic concept.
Right.
The
I
concept's
just
great.
hate the belt.
The belt itself. The reason
I understand that it's not a serious championship, so
supposed
why
to be-
should it look like a really nice
No,
belt?
but
but it should look better. Why would
should-
people want to own that thing?
it looks like a watch. I think if you put it on black, it might look a bit better. I think the green is part of the issue. I think that sort of old bottle green, the British racing green, the Jaguar green.
Yeah.
It's a bit. I get that they used to have green straps on the WWF title and stuff, so it sort of harkens back to that, I guess, in a
I think
way.
it's
But
the WBC World Boxing
but it looks
Championship.
like a boxing belt. My biggest problem with it is not the shape of it. I get it's supposed to look like a clock or a watch. I don't like the green, as I said. My biggest problem is those side plates. They're blank. They're
What
literally
are they for?
they don't even have like a WWE logo
I
on them.
think they
don't
designed,
have-
because obviously with the rest of the belts, they have interchangeable ones, but I think someone said, oh, we'll just use them on that one, then realised that's going to change several times throughout the night, innit? So it's not be
I
able
thought they would have just got like a classic style one where it's got like a couple of world flags or like two wrestlers going at it like that.
couple
like
of watches.
Instead, it looks like, you know, when your man buys like cheap knockoff After Eights for like
Yeah.
Sunday dinner and they've got like little lines in them. That's what it looks like. They've got like 3 little lines in each corner and they're just flat gold with nothing in the middle.
Hopefully
Awful.
Hopefully by the time of recording, I mean by the time this goes out on YouTube, there'll have been several more champions via the WWE network, because that's what it should be used
Yeah.
for.
If I'm
Well,
not,
the
I'm going to
networks-
be in America. If all of us aren't the champion at some
By
point,
the time we come back,
by the time we come back,
then it's been a failed excursion
Exactly.
in Las Vegas.
It was a weird time for them to unveil it, because they're relaunching the network soon, which I presume, because I don't think you do it on the network now. Could
Right.
you? The network's
the
crap at
network,
minute.
the network's been the same since it launched. The reason the network has to change this year is because HTML is changing. So it's still built on HTML. They need to change it to HTML5. So the entire thing needs to be overhauled, which means there might be more possibilities for live streaming.
That's what I mean. I thought it would have coincided with that relaunching rather than.
I don't know. I think if you launch it ahead of time and then all of a sudden on the new network, it's just like, boom, this is happening. That's.
I don't know if it's like 3 months of it not happening is a bit like damaging, isn't it?
But I don't think they're ever going to live stream it. I think what you'll see is wrestlers will be traveling together and it'll be like, quickly film this, and they'll shoot something. And
That's
it'll just
not
be a
what we
quick
want. Though.
upload,
We
quick
want to be
upload, quick
woken up
upload.
at 2 a.m.
The problem is you can't. It's not easy to just go boom streaming.
I realise that, but they've got billions of dollars.
They do, but they can't. Just give wrestlers all this access to stream keys, and they'd need somebody out there that could do it with them. It'd all need to be pre-planned, and that takes away some of the magic.
Not if it's done right, though.
I don't know. I think the beauty of belts like the Iron Man Heavy Metalweight belt is that it just changes so frequently. If you have to plan them all meticulously and have crew there to film it, and I think that just makes it feel a bit
Those were the two main angles on Raw this week, but I've written down just brief recaps of the rest of Raw, because it felt like a bit of a cool down Raw to me, apart from those two things. So Drew McIntyre was revealed as Shane McMahon's newest henchman, because like Baron Corbin and Lashley, they're all part of the same after school club.
Yeah.
And Shane's just calling upon them at will. Elias is one of Shane's lads as well now. Shane's like
Well, Shane's just missing the Mean Street Posse. They've all got kids now.
Oh, yeah.
Shane has money and he's spending it.
Is that the implication that he's bought them as henchmen?
That's what the commentary was saying.
Oh,
for
were
Drew,
they?
For Drew, yeah.
Oh, okay, right. So he revealed Drew as his newest henchman, and then Drew went on to beat The Miz in a match where Shane was being just a little pest on the outside all the time. Oh, disgraceful.
Fantastic, isn't he?
He's all right at that, to be fair. He's always all
He's
right
a
at the...
natural heel.
Yeah.
Who would have thought of that?
Well,
Vince McMahon's son being a natural heel.
it's not like we realised that he was 20 years ago as well. Although I was too young then to be like, he's a natural heel, him.
I didn't mind Shane when he was young.
Do you not like him?
I used to find it quite endearing that Jerry Lawler would call him Simba. He used to go run around the ring like a little dog.
Yeah.
Aw.
And he had a class jumping chair shot. Do you remember his jumping chair shots
Yeah.
to like The
Yeah.
Rock or someone? Just bang. Oh. The Usos and the Revival were actually allowed to wrestle and had a good match, surprisingly, because they're two of the best tag teams in the world.
I thought it was so interesting that Renee Young and Corey Graves were telling the Usos to get a life, and it was sad what they were doing and whatnot.
I think the opinions flipped.
Oh, someone backstage has realised it's not 1999 anymore, Sam.
It is 1999 though.
It's not, though. It's 2019. Usi Hot isn't funny anymore.
You found it
he
funny.
finds it funny, but I don't.
I wasn't laughing at Usi Hot. I was laughing at the idea that Usi Hot was a thing in 1999. The Revival won and celebrated backstage, and fair play to them because, they deserve a win after all this. There was a 6-woman tag team match which fed out of a moment of bliss, which Nikki was the co-host of because Alexa was her pal.
They're doing that thing, aren't they, where they're going to make Nikki idolise Alexa. Alexa will try to change Nikki, then Nikki will turn on her. I think that'll be good, that.
Could be good. It led to Becky, Nikki, and Alexa against Lacey and the Iconics, and the babyfaces won, but it was basically a 2-on-3 handicap match because Alexa just hung outside the ring and had a coffee. Genuinely just had a coffee.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
Had 2 coffees, because she had 2 cups at the start, and she poured Nikki's in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bitch.
She's great.
Awful, that.
No, she's great, Alexa. So good. But at the end, as well, Becky Lynch didn't really want to celebrate with Alexa. Ooh. Because Alexa didn't do any of the work, I suppose.
Why would she? She's a bitch.
Nah, Alexa's
Evil
softened a bit.
Jezebel.
No, she's pals with Hulk Hogan now.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe not the best example in the world. Braun Strowman beat Sami Zayn in about a minute after a bit of a backstage brawl. It was a weird order, this, right? So they got in the ring, then there was a backstage brawl, then they got back in the ring, then the bell rang, and then Strowman beat him. Basically, Sami Zayn got the absolute crap beaten out of him by a larger man, and that set up, I guess, Strowman versus Lashley in Saudi Arabia because they looked at each other backstage for a bit.
What a compelling tale.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, so long as their commentators are selling it big, I guess, then the Saudi audience.
I don't think there's any way you can.
The Saudi audience can be like hearing all these different storylines. We're not.
Yeah, maybe. And finally, Cesaro beat Ricochet. But it was fair enough because Ricochet was really beat up and hurt after the Money in the Bank ladder match. So I enjoyed that bit of booking. And it was a decent match because they're both really good wrestlers.
He's finally got a theme that works.
Oh,
For
Cesaro.
7 years, it's finally happened.
What are you on about? Everybody likes the ambulance into hardcore rave.
I enjoyed the... yeah, I enjoyed that.
Oh, I hated it.
God.
It works.
Always
This one
hated it.
works better, I've got to
Yeah.
admit. It sounds like a bit of a supervillain theme.
I was a fan of the Dean Malenko remix back in the day. No, not the first one he had, the second one, but he was still a rugby player.
Okay,
So it wasn't really a theme for a rugby player.
right. I don't remember it. Was it
I
just...
can't
was it like
do it.
smooth and like...
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
No, Dean Malenko's duh,
Yes.
duh. It was remixed into it
Oh.
with some Swiss words on top of it or something.
Oh, that's a bit strange. This one's much better. It's a bit of a supervillain theme tune. Sounds kind of like heroic and strong, but sinister as well. I think that's the perfect mix. for
Which
someone
goes
else's
well
song.
with his new name, which has been announced this week, which is now the Sinister Minister.
That's right.
That's his whole gimmick now.
That happened as
He's
well.
an angry priest.
Moving on now to SmackDown Live. The New Day opened the show and brought back Big E. First they didn't. First it was a different man who you said was a producer. Someone told me he was a producer.
They tweeted out. I can't remember what the tweet was, but I clicked on his profile and it said producer.
Okay. And then they were like, everyone was disappointed because he's not as big as Big E, but he's a larger man. He was in better shape than I'll ever be. I was like, he's still very good looking and hench man. And they went, oh, get out, you're small. I was like, oh, what? Then they brought the real Big E, and they acknowledged his love for Becky Lynch's mum.
She's fine.
She's so fine. She's taken. He wasn't Xavier was going like, I know she's taken E, and he's like, but I want her. And he's like, she is really fine. Yeah, it was really odd. But then it didn't last very long because they were interrupted by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Then they
hurt Kevin Owens' feelings.
they were mean to him.
Yeah.
I was about to say they just took the piss out of Sami Zayn and Kevin
He went
Owens.
home.
They said, so Sami Zayn was complaining because he said, I was off for 9 months and I got nothing when I came back. No fanfare, no presents in the ring. They were like presents for Big E in the ring because he came back. And they said, all right, we'll get you something then. We'll get you exactly what Kevin Owens got in the match at Money in the Bank. Nothing. And everyone went, way. And then Kevin Owens just went, gave his microphone to Sami Zayn and walked off.
What was fantastic though was Sami Zayn talking into both microphones at the same time, and I've never ever seen that before ever.
Yeah.
He was just stood there shouting with both microphones like that.
Innovation, to be fair. Yeah, so that was sad. And then Sami Zayn tried to like talk some trash to them. and then Xavier Woods kept playing the trombone over the top of him. Really rude. I felt sorry for the heels in this. And then a match was set up later on for Kofi Kingston versus Sami Zayn in non-title action. And then later on it was revealed that Kevin Owens had re-injured Big E backstage.
How convenient.
Well, yeah, it's almost like he wasn't actually ready. But he looked quite limber on the way. He was giving it the hips and that on the way to the ring, Big E. I thought it might have been legit until...
How long does a torn meniscus take the heel, Dr. Sam?
Well, if you ask superstar Billy Graham...
I'm not interested what he's got to say on anything.
It's nowhere near as long as Big E once said, which was like when he was joking, he was like, "Oh, it's going to take like 2 or 3 years," and he was like, "He's lying.
Billy
the
Graham
New Day are
was gonna
breaking
sort it
up." He got worked so hard, it was amazing.
Bloody Bill.
He's like, "It takes 6 to 8 months, not 3 years."
Billy Graham's done a Google and thinks that he's cracked the code or something. He's like, "I worked out how to Google." The match happened. Kofi Kingston beat Sami Zayn clean. Bit too quickly for my liking. I think Sami Zayn's had a bad couple of days after being squashed by Strowman on Raw
That's
as well.
probably why it was so quick then.
Because he's not going to Saudi Arabia.
No, the same problem Ricochet had. He was beaten up.
Oh, right, maybe. The kayfabe-wise, that does make sense. But Paul Heyman came after the match with the briefcase to tease a cash-in. Instead, though, Kofi was jumped by... Go on.
Scotty Too Hotty.
Oh,
Dolph
God,
Ziggler.
yeah, Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph
I
Ziggler.
forgot there.
Did you?
Yeah, I just don't care about Dolph Ziggler at all.
Oh.
Since Survivor Series 2014, I know he was good last year with Drew McIntyre, but that was more about Drew McIntyre, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I just don't care.
I
don't get the middle-aged dad like, oh, I'm from the 80s, I'm Nikki Sixx, oh, look at me. Oh.
With my misspelled Megadeth patch.
I thought that the beatdown was good. He put a chair over his neck.
The medical team in WWE needs some talking to. Like
They
the
shouldn't
entire
let him
attack was on the neck.
Yeah.
No neck brace in sight.
Was there not?
No, it's on the stretcher.
Yeah. He beat him down. It turns out Heyman wasn't ever going to get Brock to cash in. It's almost as if Brock was never there. Who would have thought?
He was sat reading his little hunting magazine in the green room.
It wasn't shown if he was.
Well, it doesn't need to be shown.
The medical team came out, strapped Kofi to the stretcher, but because he's brave and a champion and everything, he refused their help and walked to the back.
At the top of the ramp, though, he let them carry him all the way up the ramp. And then he was like, "Nah, I'll walk the flat bit. It's right."
Later on, for some reason, Dolph Ziggler did a bit of a Baron Corbin, appearing in more segments than it really felt like he should have. He came out again, even though he should have just said all this at the end of that segment.
I hate when this stuff happens.
Came out again and cut a promo explaining his motives, which I thought were fair in character motives.
He forgot he was a Raw superstar when he left, though.
Did he?
He was like, I should have been in the chamber, replacing the SmackDown person.
And he wasn't on SmackDown?
He wasn't on SmackDown.
I didn't even catch that. Oh, well, it's bollocks then. I wish I'd never given it a
He looked like he was legitimately crying. That bit was good. But like the entire purpose of what he was saying just made no sense.
No. Well, I gave it a B, I think, as well. I should have never given it as high a grade. He then said because Ali got the opportunity and then was injured and then Kofi got it, he should have got an opportunity somewhere, which fits his character because he's really entitled and everything. And then he set up a match with Kofi at Super Showdown, and I think that's maybe the best place for it because no one wants to see Dolph Ziggler on a main pay-per-view title match with Kofi Kingston. You remember the sort of energy he sapped out of Dean Ambrose's title reign when he was the number one contender. So I think this might be all right. There's other matches on the show that are bigger than it.
It'll be a good match, but I just think no one will care on this side of the planet.
Yeah, but I still think...
Do you think they're going to care there?
Probably. I don't know. Ask them.
They never tend to go wild for anything.
They all just sat in the nice comfy chairs, aren't they? Yeah, comfy chairs.
Down there in Saudi, Australia.
I wish we had them.
Yeah. Be nice to sit in the Telewest Arena with a comfy sofa.
I just imagine like you were allowed to take those home though. You've got to get them home like you can with all of the other WWE chairs. If they did them for like the West though, they'd be themed, wouldn't they? They'd be like printed on like big, horrible, disgusting living room chairs.
Yeah,
with Money in the Bank
Did
logos
you see
all over
the
them.
tweet from Sunday?
I love that. The most entitled fan.
Oh God, it was like someone quoted saying this is like the worst opinion you could have of a wrestling fan ever. Or I can't remember what the tweet was, but someone was moaning the fact that the first few rows of Money in the Bank seats were the same as last year's.
So the floor seats.
Oh, that's so lazy. They were saying
it was the exact same cushion on the back with a new date on the top, and it was like this is like a key example of WWE's peak laziness. And it's like, all right, yeah, okay, because like you're gonna get a different chair every time. Cut them some slack.
As long as you don't get hemorrhoids, it's a good chair.
Yeah.
there was some 24/7 championship shenanigans as well. R-Truth turned up. First Carmella turned up and asked Drake Maverick, have you seen R-Truth? And Drake Maverick's putting up wanted signs and says, no, but if you do see him, let me know where he is. She's like, all right. Walks a little bit further down the corridor. Paula Cruz is there. She goes, have you seen R-Truth? He goes, nah, but if you see him, I'm looking for him. She walks like 2 feet down the corridor. R-Truth's there in disguise, in a blonde wig. And she goes, this is a rubbish disguise. He's fooled. The two lives.
She shouts truth as well.
Yeah.
And Apollo Crews is like 2 feet behind her. Doesn't hear.
She's like, why did you come here? Why did you come? Everyone's looking for you. Why did you come if you've got a target on your back? And he went, I couldn't do it without you. Oh.
That was such a Partridge.
That's nice, that. They're still friends after their mixed match challenge victory together.
Yeah.
I like that. She goes, don't worry, I'll help you. Her help was to give him a bigger wig and a bra.
And sunglasses.
And sunglasses.
And a sunglasses.
And a sunglass, yeah. And then there was a match, her, Carmella versus Mandy Rose, but it lasted a minute or two before.
I tell you what, on SmackDown Live, is it not so clear as day that the women's revolution has stopped? Every single week, the matches are 2 minutes long.
Right.
What are you on about?
No, it's bad.
What are you on
it's
about?
It's like 2013 all over again.
You've got Bailey, you've got Charlotte and Lacey and Becky.
Nice readers.
Yeah. No, they're all there on SmackDown,
they're all 2
mate.
minutes.
Wild card rule.
They're all 2 minutes long. It's so bad.
It's 2 hours, isn't it? You just leave it to the end and go,
Then all the lower card ran out, including some 205 Live superstars as well. I think Tozawa was there and Dar, and they all chased R-Truth off, so he got Carmella on his back, which would have only slowed him down, carrying a human, but they...
But you cannot leave a woman behind you, sissy.
Oh, that was the best! That was the best part of SmackDown.
You suck!
So do you want to explain what happened there?
So, Truth does that with Carmella, runs through the wall, the hole in the wall. Rest in peace, Dale Winton. It was today? Was his birthday? Is it today?
Yeah. He got a shout out from Challenge TV. Went, have a good day, mate.
Have a good day, Mr. Dead Man.
Oh, dear me.
Rest in peace, Dale. Anyway, they go back to the commentary table, and Byron Saxon's like, why the hell would you pick up Carmella? Blah, 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 blah. Corey Graves just winds back and says, what did he say? You sissy.
So first Tom
Phillips
Phillips goes, you can't do that, Byron. Shut up. And then Corey goes, yeah. What are you talking about, Byron? You suck, you sissy. And then Corey just laughs at his own joke, and Byron's just trying to still act and be like, what?
I'd love to know what was being said in his ear at that point.
Corey starts just pointing at Byron as well. He's like, look at him. He's so annoying.
But to be fair to Byron, he did crack a funny during that match.
Yeah.
When Truth was at ringside, he goes, is that Michael Hayes?
Yes. Good. Nice. Later on, Truth's running through the back, and it was like something out of James Bond. I loved this. Jinder rolls him up. He kicks out at 2. I was like, go on, Truth. I was right behind him. I was really like wanting him to escape. Then both of the B team attacked him. Bo Dallas went for the cover, but Curtis Axel pulled him off. They did the whole spot where it's like, I want the pinfall. No, I do. Then Truth managed to whip one into the other. They both fell down. Him and Carmella ran off into the night. What's going to happen next?
he's going to lose the belt and it'll never be talked about again.
Don't
Imagine if that
do
happened.
Stop it.
Imagine.
One night in
You lose
Milwaukee.
it, like misplace it.
Yeah. And that's it. It's like, where's the belt?
I'm looking forward to that one, though, when someone's in bed and it happens.
Right.
I'm looking forward to that stuff, mate.
Pin them
Not
while
'cause
they're
I'm
sleeping.
Not when I'm weird or anything.
You just want to live feed of somebody being asleep.
Oh.
Next up, I've put Roman and Elias basically have the same match as Drew and Miz did on Raw. Since the wild card, have you noticed that some of the segments are just copied again on SmackDown? It's starting to feel like SmackDown's like Raw Extra. It's really sad because SmackDown's better.
People don't watch both. They watch one or the other because brand pride.
Brand supremacy. It's a battle for brand. Yeah, that's right. So Roman and Elias had the same match basically as Drew and Miz, with Shane on the outside supporting Elias, the heel. Shane interfered all the time. At one point slid a guitar in for Elias to use, but then Roman speared him anyway and got the pinfall. But then his theme tune played for about 2 seconds, and Shane McMahon was just on him, left and right, battering the big dog.
A devastating
As
scene.
if Roman didn't beat them both down and then just do like some proper 80s shredding.
It wasn't over
on an
yet, Sam.
acoustic.
He didn't do any shredding, sadly.
That's points down for me then.
Roman then fought off the attack, but he was blindsided by Drew McIntyre. Wild card, Claymore kick. That sets up Shane versus Roman.
That was already set up, yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. That's how SmackDown ended.
Yeah.
The other only
I
match-
love the bit at the start of SmackDown. I just remembered it there where Shane's like, what was it? Elias was like, Shane, I want you in my corner tonight when I take on the big dog. It would be nice to have your moral support and whatnot. And Shane goes, I'll be there. And what was it? No. Yeah, I'll be there because you need my help. Full-time wrestler Elias.
Excellent.
You need my help. I love Shane McMahon. Now he's a heel.
The only other match on the show, Ali got a win over Andrade, which at first I thought was weird because Andrade is obviously the number one contender for the IC belt, but then I realised Ali's in pretty high standing as well because he had the match won before Brock Lesnar came out. So and that
He
was
should have just
took
the case down there instead of standing there for 20 seconds.
I know, but what are you going to do? That was Raw and SmackDown. I thought it was a bit of a slog this week.
I thought it was quite good compared to... Because normally there's one that's awful and one that's clearly better, but this week they were sort of both like...
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I thought Raw was slightly better than me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it, have you, Sam?
I haven't.
Nah,
I've been busy this week.
All right.
It sounds like I would have enjoyed SmackDown a little bit more, though.
Okay.
I'm all about the backstage shenanigans.
Fair play.
So, yeah.
Let's have a rummage in our mail bags.
Yes, thank you, Carl. Let's have a rummage in our mailbags. I haven't seen Carl for ages.
No, neither have I.
Sometimes used to bump into him in town. Now, are you all right, Carl? If he doesn't listen to this, you might have moved. Got him on Facebook. I might see how he's doing. This first one is from Z Dollar.
Z Money.
Z Money.
Z dollar symbol.
Yes, and he says, "Hello, hi, hello. This week, or she, we don't know.
Yeah.
Hi, hello, hi, hello.
Hello, Zelina or Zachariah.
I'm guessing it's a boy, but just because most of it. Hello, hi, hello. This week I went to Money in the Bank. Oh, you were there? During the Women's Money in the Bank match when Carmella got injured, my section thought she was actually hurt. So when she walked out, we all clapped for her because that's what you do in youth soccer or football, as y'all might call it. So they gave her like a
golf clap.
Yeah.
She gave a bit back. don't get out with football as me.
For the fans coming all the way.
I know, but it means now, does it? Just walking over.
Oh.
What, when they walk off, when they get substituted and stuff?
Oh, at the end of the match.
End of the match.
Oh, in the match. Yeah, no, for the fans, at the end, and then for a substitution for the guy coming on.
Don't get it, me.
Later in the match, when she ran back out, I felt betrayed.
You know what else I don't get in football on this football podcast? It's when you do a back pass to the keeper, right, and everyone claps.
Sensible, isn't it? Sensible.
Easy as well.
Or header. When you head it back to the keeper and they can catch it, then it's like,
nobody
whoa.
claps because it's cowardice.
No, people do clap.
Oh,
Everyone claps.
then it's stupid.
Yeah, don't get it.
If they didn't clap, it would make sense.
Let us know what you think about claps.
One of my favourite little bursts of applause in a football match is when your team's being pressed quite hard and you think they're going to lose the ball, and then they manage to intelligently work it out. Someone does a big switch or something, everyone's like, oh, they've got this under control.
Tell you what else everybody loves, and it's not just restricted to football, it's an attendance clap. It's like, the attendance today is 4,800 people.
Doesn't happen to football.
No, people don't really care.
People just go, oh, hey.
They still react to it, though. Like, what does it matter?
Richard's going to be so confused with all these claps when he's editing this. Sorry in advance, Richard. Later in the match, when Carmella ran back out, I felt betrayed and I wanted my claps back. Have you guys ever been worked hard at an event?
Wanted Carmella to give him back the clap.
You felt betrayed because you've been worked. I've been worked hard at an event, putting up rings and that, like a mule.
Yeah.
No,
I like what you've done there. I agree with that sentiment.
What?
That sentiment.
Oh, right, the mule. Yeah. No, I have one.
Yeah?
Do you have one? Shall I go first, or if you think of one?
I'm trying to think of one.
All right. Mine was at one of our own shows when I really should have just known better. Twice. It's happened twice. Both with injuries that I thought were legit and they weren't. First one was that big fun ladder match we had with all the different teams, Swords of Essex, Slater and Moss. Do you remember that? It was a crazy match. Everyone was going all over the place off ladders and stuff.
Most of my time at these shows was spent doing this. Like staring at a screen.
Ross, do you remember it?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
I used to sit there and do nothing
Midway through the
while the show was on.
Midway through the match, Johnny Moss got injured and taken out, and Liam had to do it on his own. But I saw Moss get injured, and I was like, oh, he's injured. And I was sat with Sarah Timmis, who was like first aid on the scene. And I turned to her and I was like, John Moss is injured. She was like, what? Ran off. And then I turned back to the ring, and they're doing this clearly worked, like he's going, you get the belt, Liam. You're on your own now. And I'm there like, I've just told the medical girl. And she comes back 20 minutes later and goes like, he's absolutely fine. I was like, yeah.
To be fair, it was his dicky elbow, wasn't it, that got injured?
It?
I'm sure he had a dicky elbow that they played up.
And I just thought it was real. I turned back to the ring and he's going, him and Liam are doing the proper like passing of the torch. He's like, it's all on you now. I was like, oh, I'm such an idiot. The other one was another Ice Arena show, maybe the same one, can't remember. Angle versus Cody Rhodes. And Cody was limping all the way to the back. And then he got round the curtain and we were sat up in the bleachers and he went like down below us, out of view of the crowd, still limping. And I was like, ooh, he's actually hurt. later on I saw him just walking about normally. He was fine. He was just working everyone from
He's
every
seen you
angle.
coming.
He did. He's a pro. So I'm an idiot, basically, is my story. Have you got any?
Mine's
Can't
Survivor
really think
Series. Survivor Series, it's not quite the same vein as those, but like Survivor Series 2016 with Goldberg and Lesnar, I was furious that it was so short. Like, properly furious. Like, I didn't understand why it was furious until a day later when I realised, like, all the headlines and whatnot that was produced, and it was probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Because I was, like, heading into that show going, they need to right the wrongs of WrestleMania 20, and they didn't do it, and I was very angry about it.
Yeah.
And I remember Dragon Izu just pulling me to one side going, bro. He never said that. Just going like, just imagine all the headlines and the attention it's going to get, and it's built to another match and whatnot. I was like, no, man, they should have had a 20-minute match. They should have done it properly like they didn't do it at WrestleMania. And I sat back and thought to myself, yeah, the right thing.
The dragon's correct in that
He's
case.
a wise old man,
He's a
isn't he?
wise man.
He literally has. If you haven't seen him before, he's got one of those beards that wizards have.
Sometimes puts beads in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sam?
I don't have one. Not that I can think of. Aside from when I was like
You're
super
unworkable,
little. And
you.
But aside from when you're like super little and you believe everything.
Yeah.
But like I had such a big breakaway from wrestling that like I don't really have any that come to mind immediately.
That's
where
fair.
I didn't think, because like when I came back into wrestling, I was fully like indoctrinated into the whole
Smartened up
Yeah.
to the business, brother.
Yeah. Don't really have one,
That's fair enough.
unfortunately.
That's okay. We'll move on to the second question. Hello, Matthew, and whoever's bothered to show up. Well,
Not even Matthew.
going to keep this short, but with TakeOver 25 coming up, I was wondering what was your favourite ever NXT match. Thanks for all the great content and entertaining my Friday evenings, Sean from Ireland. Thank you, Sean. I've got two again.
I've got one that stands out in my
Go
head.
on.
Bailey Sasha.
Oh, I've got three. Yeah. that's
Just
true.
because the end, when Bailey starts doing reverse ranas off the top rope and whatnot, I'm just like, wow, you what? The entrance is, of Sasha as well. That was a good
In the
entrance.
car?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that TakeOver might be my favourite TakeOver.
Was that Brooklyn 1?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good one.
Jushin Liger was there against Tyler Breeze.
Yes, he was.
Balor against Owens.
Blue
and all that
pants.
match. Yeah, blue pants.
Had everything that. A variety show of, of an event.
It's a hard one for me to choose between them because they're all so good, but I think it's the unsanctioned match.
Johnny Gargano and
Yeah.
Smash Up. That was one of my two.
Like, because it's just so brutal, and when
Yeah.
he's got the brace across his face,
Storytelling,
and, yeah,
all of it.
when the ending of it is just so well done, and
Yeah.
yeah, I love that.
That was one of my two.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll give an honourable mention as well to the second War Games one. I couldn't believe there was even a debate that the first War Games was better. The second one for me, everyone was like, it went on too long. Tactics were amazing. Do you remember that?
I remember the overwhelming feeling of it being too long.
Okay, right, fair enough. I was enthralled all the way through because it was so tactical. But the one that I think is my favourite, as well as Ciampa Gargano 1, is 2 out of 3 Falls Revival and DIY from Toronto. That was it's probably the best tag match I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So good. It's one of those matches where like I've not watched it back that many times. I think I've probably seen it 2 or 3 times, but it never. I forgot. There's so many twists and turns. Things still surprise you. You're like, whoa, look at that. That was
Was that
phenomenal.
the first time the revival did the old stop tapping out?
It might have been when they catch each other's hands.
I like that.
Might have been.
I like that a lot.
They did all their tricks in that match. They did the whole sneaking under the ring to pull the illegal man off. When
Wanking.
Question 3. Hello there, you sexy beasts. So sometime last week I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw a tweet that caught my eye. It was a tweet of someone saying a particular food combination that they enjoyed. What was the food combination, you may ask? It was ketchup. It was ketchup and chocolate chip cookies.
Satanist.
That's awful, that.
I saw this and immediately thought that I should punch that person in the face for bringing something so disgusting into the world. My question to all of you is, are there any food quirks that you have that other people find gross? For me, wrestling question. For me personally, whenever I eat certain food like chicken nuggets or French fries, I don't have a sauce to dip them in. I just eat them how they are. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Nutcracker Samir. He's messaged him before. I recognise that name.
I've got one.
Go on.
Pot noodle sandwich.
Ooh.
I remember whapping that out at uni for the first time, and I was in there where it was like maybe the first week or something. We're all hungover, 7 of us in there, and I thought I might as well have just brought a baby out on the counter and cooked it or something. All 7 people were offended that I whapped out this bit of bread and just put a pot noodle on top and shut it and
I
started
can
eating
see
like that.
it.
You can't have the trick is in the pouring of the water. If you have too much water, the sandwich is a non-starter.
The consistency of the sandwich.
You have to make sure that you get
The noodles need to be fairly
moist but not
congealed.
wet. Yeah.
Yeah, not soaked through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What flavour of pot noodle?
I'm a spicy curry man.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I might try that. That's actually really good.
Good combo.
You got one?
I've got like I first off, well, there's the one where it's like I hate beans. I can't have beans.
Mine involves beans, but I can't wait for
yeah,
this
like so beans in general. That's something that always makes people go like, "What the hell?" But in terms of my weird food thing, it's potato waffle sandwiches. They're just the boy. They are the absolute boy.
Dry.
Dry, so dry. So like,
so that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's great.
So
it's great. It's so dry. Big glass of water and potato waffle sandwich. You get 2 slices of bread.
I'd like to point out
2 potato
this
waffles.
isn't what we do on a day-to-day.
No, this is like
if you
family
hungover.
members died and you need to like cheer yourself up.
Wow. I was going to say hungover, but
Oh yeah, hanging out your ass.
What's the difference?
But the trick is to it. You have to get a lot of ketchup in there to add that moistness to it, because otherwise, it's far too dry.
So mine is at school and that when you add, when you'd have like.
I must add, sorry, that you've got to compress it so it just turns to mush.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like that with a crisp sandwich. I can't have a crisp sandwich unless it's compressed.
If you're feeling risky, and I've never done it before, I imagine you could do 3 waffles as well with 4 slices of bread, but you'd have to really get that mashed down.
Yeah, that's gonna do you.
You'd probably have to have on the bottom would have to probably be like a heel to catch all of the juice.
Right. I just like first question. We're all like, I'm trying to think of something for this one. We're all like, I've got it. Mine's I don't know how common or uncommon this is, but I've grown out of it now because I've been socially shamed out of it, and I don't really like it anymore. But at school when you get a choice of peas or beans,
yeah,
do you want peas or beans? With fish and chips, I used to go for beans. Which I know. Look at your face there.
No, I fully agree.
Whoa!
That hit.
Baked beans are disgusting.
Oh my!
They are disgraceful.
Chips and beans and cheese.
They are filth. They are.
But the fish
awful.
is the weird bit, isn't it? The fish is the weird bit. Fish and beans is a strange
texture of
I'll
them.
admit that it is weird.
The texture of them makes me throw up.
I thought it was normal as well until
Fish
I got
and beans on a plate.
until I got to secondary school, and everyone was like, "What are you doing?"
You peasant.
Yeah. It was on a bursary, didn't pay to go to school, even though it was.
My
grammar
brother
school.
was really weird as a kid. He used to smell his food and measure his food.
Measure his food.
So he would have like, he wouldn't use like a ruler or anything. He was like 3 or 4 years old. He would have like an Action Man, and my mum would give him like a chocolate digestive.
Yeah.
And so he would immediately smell it to make sure it wasn't poisoned, I assume.
Right.
And then he would put it next to the Action Man. And then sometimes he'd get another digestive and just go, just to make sure it was right.
How old was he?
And then he would eat it like 3 or 4.
Like, you're 17, get a job.
Oh, well, I think he still to this day dips crisps in lemonade before he eats them.
Oh,
That's foul. Absolutely foul.
People are strange.
Just disgusted.
Let us know your favourite weird food combinations, and let's get on with Reese's Pieces. Reese's Pieces, Reese's Pieces, Reese's Pieces, Reese's Pieces. Yes, time for Reese's Pieces. Peas or beans is the question of the night.
Beans all day long.
Reese's Pieces this week comes from Andrew Curry, and he's gone for a stable-related one. Shield or New Day?
The New World Order, yeah.
Shield or New Day is the question.
It depends where you're looking at it from, because if you're looking at it from a pure in-ring standpoint, it's got to be the Shield.
Yep.
But I was never a big fan of the Shield.
Were you not?
No, I
What
just...
do you mean from it? It has to be the Shield.
I think in
Did
terms
you
of...
not watch the Usos versus the New Day?
Well,
I just think the 3 members of the Shield are like prodigies, aren't they?
Rollins is.
Rollins is, yeah.
Absolutely.
Ambrose
Rowan
is
was
different.
born into it, and Ambrose has clawed his way up.
Yeah.
They're all like...
In a different way, they're all
Sort of,
excellent. But the New Day have like made themselves.
Oh, yeah, like they're so charismatic.
The Shield were preordained. The New Day have like made it. Yeah.
My head is saying New Day.
That's what I'm leaning
Because
to
of their
Day.
initial initial run.
Yeah.
But the initial heel run in 2015.
With Rollins involved.
Yes,
wasn't it?
that period of time was
great.
amazing.
It
And that was, for me, I know I'm not the Shield's target market, me. I don't think. I understand their appeal. I don't necessarily think they're cool.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the kids might.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I had such
don't
a hard
fancy them
time
like they
sort
were.
of getting away with them. Was everybody's like, they're so cool. It's like they're not that cool. The whole Sierra Hotel,
was forced
and like
cool.
all that stuff. It was like it was
Forced.
proper edgelordy.
I can see why kids would
like,
find them really cool.
Yeah.
Kids and lasses, definitely. Or,
Yeah.
people who fancy men.
Aye.
With long hair and wet hair.
Yeah.
And
So
straggly
wet.
hair.
So wet.
Oh my God, yeah. But I just thought the New Day, that heel run, I don't so much care for
the New Day are a handsome trio of lads.
Oh, I
as
know
well.
that, but not
And
like.
also, the similarity between the New Day and the Shield is they're all a different type. Every girl out there will have a favourite member of the Shield or the New Day in terms of which one's the sexiest.
Big E's just the raw sexual magnitude.
See, I was going to say Xavier's quite a handsome man.
But I'm not about raw, like passionate sexiness, you know?
Andrew
Just
Curry,
when you want to say, I want to rip your singlet off Big E.
Andrew Curry, I'm sorry your question's turned into who's the fittest stable out of the two. I'm going to go for the Shield. And I think it's because they've formed such a crucial part of the overarching storylines of the past since we've been doing this job, basically.
Yeah.
Our job has been defined by the Shield era. All of the big storylines have been, not all of them, but a lot of them have been, and now we're all here, have been the breakup of the Shield, the reunion of the Shield, Rollins cashing in at WrestleMania 31, the night where they all held the belt at once at Money in the Bank 2016, I think. And I just feel like if you take the Shield out of this period of time, what have you got? Like, they've really defined a lot of stuff that's happened. Also in the ring, Rollins is one of my favourite wrestlers of the modern era, so I've got to kind of go for the Shield also. But I love Kofi too.
Tell you what's another thing in the New Day's column
go on.
is the fact they've never come close to splitting up.
Yeah, I like that.
And they feed all of those people that can't afford high up seats.
If I caught one of those pancakes, I wouldn't eat it.
No,
I don't know.
Someone's jockstrap.
I don't know.
I remember when was on an episode of SmackDown, someone ate one of the ones inside Big E's tights.
Oh.
And he's a wet man.
Yeah, he is a wet man.
He's a wet man.
Wet man.
He's a wet man. He's always wet and seeping wetness.
When we look, who was it? When they were, do you remember there was that confrontation backstage? Who's the best stable of all time? And the Shield came along at the end and went, maybe it's us. Because it was the New Day and it was someone else. I can't remember who. It was the Club.
The League of Nations.
It wasn't the League. Was it the League of Nations?
I don't know.
They're talking about who the best stable of all time was.
But it was like a segment backstage where the New Day were like, we're the best stable of all time. And then they got confronted by someone else. May have been Balor and the Club. And then the Shield came along and went, maybe it's us. I can't remember exactly who it was, though. But I don't know, can either of these teams be considered the greatest stable of all time?
No.
Ooh.
I don't even think it's close
NWO.
with either of those two. I think it's got to be NWO.
I've got to go with D-Generation.
DX did a lot of really cool stuff. I think NWO for the sheer, like, the initial bit before it got crap, where it was, like, the whole takeover idea and it was, like, poisoning the company.
Yeah.
And that
Before
whole
there were
thing
too
was,
many members.
It was
To bring
so
back
good.
the old analogy, you got NWO and DX are like Ronaldo and Messi.
Oh,
I think New Day and Shield are like Bale and
Okay.
Modric. Not so much Bale now.
I'd say the Shield are Shoulder Amiobi.
Oh, that's an awful thing
I
to
thought you
say.
were going to say that then you've got like Maradona and Pele are the Four Horsemen.
The Horsemen are in I think the Ronaldo Messi tier.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they pioneered it.
Which team is your little favourite little Vern?
My favourite little Vern.
Yeah.
League of Nations, the lads. The lads had such a great time together.
Who did they support at Plovdiv?
Look at him at Plovdiv.
Yeah, that was their team, wasn't it?
Was
it
it?
was
I
Rusev's
don't
team.
know.
It was
Rusev's from
team.
Plovdiv, yeah.
I thought he supported them.
He got the keys to Plovdiv.
Did he?
Aye.
Well, oh yes. It was a big, massive key, yeah.
I just did the way you said it. Like if I didn't know you were on about like the keys to the city, just like the keys to everybody's house.
He's got the keys to Plovdiv.
You can have the keys to mine if you want to.
Right, well, I'm going to cast my final vote for the Shield in this Reese's Pieces. It's 1-0. Do with it what you will.
As much as I see, because as I said, from a pure in-ring standpoint, I think it's the Shield, but I think you can't deny the New Day's charisma. I think I'm going to have to go with the New Day on it.
1-1.
I think the New Day, because of what Kofi did at WrestleMania, one of the most important factions in like wrestling history.
Yeah.
Right.
Just because of the history they made, so I'm going to go for them.
Fair enough. There you have it. Officially, we've decided that the New Day are better than the Shield.
Have it that, you
Unlucky.
Shield lovers.
Unlucky lads.
It's Cultaholics.
And finally, it's time for, I think I'm probably contractually obliged to do Matthew's big question.
Oh, you didn't
Where's
even bring the puppet?
Yeah, where's Puppet Jack?
Oh, talk amongst yourselves.
Is he taking it with him?
He actually has.
All right,
Me.
well, use him instead.
No.
Go on, use
He's
Ross
ta-
instead. Use Ross instead.
He's taking the puppet.
He's
Of
wandering
course
around
he's
the
taking it.
airport.
Of course he's
You're not
taking
going
it.
to use Ross's head
For what?
just to as Puppet Jack.
He
Stand in
used-
for
he
a
used
week.
Puppet Jack for the mailbag, not for this.
Oh.
He's definitely taking it. Seedy bastard. What's he doing with that in the plain toilet? That's me, that. That's my,
Do you
that's
remember when
my
it was
likeness.
No, that question is founded because no one had the paper one to begin with.
Yeah,
There was a hole where the mouth was.
so it could talk.
Right.
Aye.
Well,
Aye.
yeah.
Aye.
Yeah. Anyway, the big question this week is who is going to replace PAC at All Elite Wrestling's Double or Nothing this Saturday.
It's CM Punk like because he was wearing that hoodie.
Should we talk about the people in the conversation, right?
Yes.
Should we talk about the main...
It's one of two, is it surely?
Who are you two?
Him and the other.
Oh, I think it's Sam.
Yeah, Sam and
Why I'm going to be in
He's
Vegas.
going to be in Vegas then.
John Moxley.
Punk and Moxley.
Yeah.
They're the two big hitters.
Richard Tubman was saying before that apparently someone said that it's going to be bigger than PAC.
They said, yeah, it's bigger than
Bigger
PAC.
than PAC.
Yeah, so how do you make it bigger than PAC?
Diamond
Unless
Dallas
they meant
Page.
like from a literal sense.
Well,
It's
Jerry
like
Lynn.
Ace Romero or something like that.
DDP, Jerry Lynn.
I think that it could be... Tama Tonga's been desperately trying to get himself booked on Twitter. Fair play. No.
Oh, that would be awful.
Could you imagine?
That WrestleMania pre-show, man. Oh, no, because it's against Hangman Page. What am I talking about? I keep thinking that it's going to be Neville's opponent or PAC's. I need to get into my head that it's not. It's Hangman Page's opponent. That's who we're going to
Joey
have.
Ryan?
Cody Hall.
Joey Ryan doesn't seem bigger than PAC, though, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
Austin Gunn seems like a tall man.
They've backed themselves into a corner with that comment.
If it's
Big
true.
time.
If Richard hasn't just made it up.
Yeah.
To
Undertaker.
fuel
Are
the
you
fire.
questioning Richard Tubman's integrity?
No, sorry, Richard, if you're editing this. Sorry. I think the most likely is Moxley, Ambrose. But...
But Punk put that thing on Instagram, didn't he? He was listening to
If
it. It's clobbering time.
if it's Moxley, I'll be really excited. If it's Punk, I'm not going to know what's going on because it's going to be
Yeah.
like history in front of our eyes.
The whole thing is like obviously
Wrestling history,
He's
so not
doing
that
that.
important.
He's doing that MMA thing, but where is that?
What is he doing? Sorry, he's commentating on
He's
MMA.
commentating
then.
on an MMA show, but is it in a different time zone? Is it
Yeah.
like
We should have
different
looked
time
at
of
where
the
it
year?
was before
Yeah.
we came in here. But
We should have
didn't,
done.
It's in Reno, Nevada.
It's in the lobby of the MGM Grand.
Because they did that with Jericho. Because Jericho was playing a show. I don't know where his show was, but Tony Khan flew him in and flew him straight back out again.
Right.
So they've got history of flying people in and flying them straight back out again.
Yes. I don't know if Reno is in Nevada, by the way. But they do have history of that. Was that
think it
Jericho?
Jericho double on
When he was
all in. sorry.
Pentagon. Yeah.
He was doing a Fozzy gig somewhere at the same time, so they flew him in for that and then flew him straight back out again.
I can't think of any other realistic ones apart from Moxley and maybe Punk and maybe Tama Tonga because there's the whole bullet. He's a distant
The
third
thing
for
is,
me.
like, he could like, he might not have to be at the venue till like maybe 9:30, 10.
Who's he? Just the replacement?
Yeah, like
Oh,
they could
right,
they
yeah.
could put that match on late.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like so.
Will it not close the night?
Don't know.
Crowning the
What's
first
going-
champion.
I thought Omega Jericho might
Omega
close the night.
Jericho will close the night.
But
won't
maybe that match will close
it? Your
the
two
night.
biggest names.
Should it make
Well,
more sense to have the first champion?
Is that,
That's
has that been
wrestling
confirmed as the
tradition, and they're
title
going
match?
to
I
break
thought it
the
was
wheel.
I thought it was as well, but then I don't know what actually is the title match now. It's not officially listed as the title match.
Oh, maybe they changed it.
I've got no idea what's going on.
Let's give it the winner Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Give it to Sean Spears. First AEW champion.
10. Give it to Glacier. He's in the Battle Royal. Well, I'm going to go... Oh, no. We'll do it on the predictions.
Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash. Oh, let's all do a joke one to close the podcast with a big laugh.
George Miz.
Aye.
Jake the
good.
Snake Roberts.
I'll go for Matthew. There we go. Right. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. If you want to send us mail, I forgot to mention, you can do that at mailbag@cultaholic.com.
Is it not cultaholic.com/post or whatever Matthew
Nope.
usually says?
Yeah, no. It's mailbag@cultaholic.com. Hall of Fame votes can be voted for on the Patreon, which is patreon.com/cultaholic. You can follow me on Twitter at Jack the Jobber.
Follow me on Twitter at Less Defined.
At Ross on Wrestling.
And never forget, as Matthew always closes the podcast with, to hit subscribe,
And
tickle the
Vegas.
balls, and Vegas, yes.
Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter at Cultaholic, and you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, you can pledge to our Patreon at patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe, and don't forget, join us